So next door to where I live is a assisted living house. My grandma actually lives there. It's awesome. And they have, I don't know, 7 or 8 bedrooms. And every morning when I'm taking the kids to school, there is a man in a wheelchair and he sits out because he likes being out in the sun or whatever else. And he's just sitting out there and, just not moving, right? Just kind of chilling out there. I mean, it seems like he's happy, but I think about it every time that I think about what I'm going to do that day. It's like it's this interesting, weird little reminder that we have a window of opportunity to be really, really, really productive in our lives, to really go out every single day and take massive imperfect action and go towards whatever our goals are, right? Whatever the vision is that we have for our life, we're able to go and do that until the day we're not. Okay? It doesn't go forever. And if you believe that you have this wellspring, this unbelievable amount of potential, then you have to go out every single day. You have to talk to property owners. You have to make offers. You have to build the skills. You have to go and do whatever you can when you're starting out to trade your time for income, right? Because then when you trade your time for money, and I have it here. Let me put it up here again real quick, because this is where we start. This is how we become rich versus wealthy, is we trade time for money. And then wealthy it's the reversal of that. We use the money to buy us time, right? To be able to have more control over the time that we have left, right? But it starts with the grind. It starts with every day getting up with enthusiasm. An enthusiasm level that's a minimum 8 out of 10 every single day, right? Because we have the ability to control what our future financial state is. Isn't that incredible? We all have that ability to control that. So what are we going to do today? You're one conversation away from an unbelievable offer. Here at 20 minutes, a notary is going to come in and I'm going to sign on a deal and then I'll do the whole deal breakdown of what happened. There was actually a flip property, but it's a phenomenal deal with a great backstory, with really great metrics. And the best thing is I used 0 of my company's money or 0 of my own personal money to do this flip. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. But today's show is all about selling our deals fast, right? Finding cash buyers as fast as possible. Because here's the thing. We can lock up all the deals that we want. But unless somebody is willing to pay us for that opportunity, they see that this is a great opportunity for them, we don't earn anything. We provide no value. Actually, we screw everything up because we lock property owners into these agreements that we're not able to close ourselves or sell to somebody else. So we got to be really, really, really good first with our numbers, and second with being loud to the cash buyers that are going to buy in those areas. Okay. Now, one thing that I want to show you here, Matt, if you'll pull up, here it is. Perfect. Guys, remember this right here. This is really, really important when you're running your numbers for your offers. Okay. If there's more than 2 months of inventory in that area, and I would segment that to, if it's a smaller city, let's say that there's, 10,000 people or less, do the whole city. But if there's more, then just do the zip code, because it goes zip code by zip code, area by area. And it really matters, right? It really matters on what you can offer. So more than 2 months of inventory is 70% minus repairs, minus your wholesale fee, is what your max allowable offer is. Okay. If there's less than 2 months of inventory, it's 80% minus repairs. And if it's less than 1 month of inventory, it's 90% minus repairs. All right. That's the max allowable offer. So make sure you guys are using this. We have a tremendous amount of videos breaking down how to figure out what the months of inventory are. If somebody in here is like, I don't know what that means or what that is, we can certainly break it down later in the show. So put it in the chat. Welcome to the Real Estate Investing Live Show. I am Brent Daniels, and we are talking about finding cash buyers. I'm going to show you how to do it for free. And then I'm going to show you some techniques that maybe you haven't tried yet. And then I'm going to show you what the top tier, multi-million dollar real estate investing businesses do. Okay. Awesome. So first, let's get into doing it for free. All right. So the first way to do it is just simply going on to, I'm going to do the window here. I'm going to do that. I'm going to share it. And then I'm going to go to Zillow. Okay. So what I did here is I just pulled up 85015. It's a zip code here in Phoenix. It's really easy to just kind of, break it down here. And what I'm looking for is I go up to about 550,000. What I'm looking at is what is the average median sale price in the area, right? And I know that this area is kind of 550 is a little bit higher, but that's okay. What I'm looking for is what is the bread and butter flipper selling their properties for? Typically, it's going to be in that median sale price. It's not going to be the luxury typically, unless you focus on that, which is fine. You just do less deals and it gets a little bit more frustrating because you feel like you're kind of spinning your wheels a lot. So that's why I always suggest when you're starting out, focus in on properties that are 2,000 square feet or less. They're 3-bedroom, 2-bath that have been owned for at least 7 years and built before 2000, right? They're older. They're not these huge projects. They should have a good significant amount of equity in it because they've owned it for a while, as long as they haven't pulled it out with the home equity line. And that's really what the big core, the big pool of cash buyers is looking for. Okay. And then I get into Zillow here and I'm looking at properties that look staged. Look at this. This is a perfect example. Look at this. This looks like a property that has been fix and flipped, right? They've got the virtual staging here. It looks very nice. There's no cabinet. I mean, there's nothing in the cabinets or on the cabinets. You can see the little blue tape here on the new stainless steel fridge. You can see that this is a really nice remodel. So, okay, how do we get a hold of this seller here? How do we get a hold of this flipper here? Well, you go down into the listed by. Okay, guys, don't go over here. Don't go the contact agent. Don't go request a tour. Don't do any of that there. You want to talk to the listing agent here. Call them up and see if they are interested in more projects in the area, right? They're already selling a property here. Now, if you really want to open this up to not just the ones that are active, but the ones that have recently sold, you can go right into Zillow. You can change this up into sold. You can apply this, and then you could set some parameters. What I like setting is how long ago it was sold. Where's that at? Sold in last, there it is, in last 90 days. Actually, the last 30 days. Let's go there. Let's apply that. Okay. So these are the ones that sold in the last 30 days. Look at this. Look at this. Beautiful. Another flip. Obviously, it's looking beautiful. It's got this incredible backsplash. And I would call up this agent and I would mention this backsplash. I would say, oh my gosh, I absolutely love the backsplash that you guys did here. And by the way, these are a little bit trickier to find the listing agent, right? It's down here. You've got Kenneth here that's got it with Best Homes Real Estate. And I would call up and ask him if they're interested in doing another project in 85015. Why? They just sold this property. Now let's go back. Let's do a little research here. Look at this. Okay. It looks like, and that's what I love. I love using Zillow for this type of thing. Look at this. They bought this house for $270,000 in May. They listed it for sale, probably as under construction, right? And they listed it for sale here in early July, put it out there and got it pending by August 1st. I mean, this is a pro flipper. This is somebody that went into that property, did unbelievable work, had it at 270. This property, look, this is bread and butter, guys. 3-bed, 2-bath, 1,302 square feet. Even if you're at $50 a square foot for something that's this nice, that's just looking really good, this is probably between $35 and $50 a square foot, but let's say 50. So what's 50 times 1,300? Anybody? Let's call it 62,000. So they bought it for $270,000. They put 62 into it, and then they sold it for $420,000. Do you think that they made a nice profit there? Absolutely. Do you think that they're looking for another property to make a nice profit? Absolutely. I am telling you guys, this is who you, and you want to reach out to the agent because the agent is going to connect you. And by the way, this is interesting. I would say 50-50. The agent is also either a partner or is the actual flipper. So then you call up, see if they're looking for other properties. They say yes. You say, okay, I'm going to text you over the details, the pictures, everything. This is off-market property. This is a wholesale deal. I'm going to send it over to you. Let me know if you want this. And then you do it again and again and again. And always shoot. Listen to me. Always shoot. Let me be dramatic here and make my screen bigger. Shoot for talking to 20 buyers. Shoot for 20 buyers. That's the goal that I want you to have in your head is 20 buyers. You're going to talk to 20 of these agents or buyers or whatever else, and you're going to ask them if they would like to take a look at your deal. The beautiful thing is they're going to give you some feedback. When you talk to them on the phone and you send it over to them, you might even like keep them on the phone a little bit and just say, hey, listen, can I text you right now? You look at just the overall number, see if it's something that's even in the ballpark and you can give me, some feedback on this. Well, that might make me feel weak. You're starting, you're building this up, right? You're building this up. So yeah, you want advice. You want them to counsel you. Remember, the best out there are always learning. They're always soaking in new information. Now, are some buyers going to mess with you? Yes. Are some old crusty and nasty and not very demure? Of course. Right? What is it? What was it? What was the other thing you said? Cutesy and demure. I don't know what that means. Maybe somebody in the chat can let me know what that means, but I think it's hilarious. Anyway, you're going to find out, you're going to get some good feedback, and it's going to help elevate your game every single day. Every conversation you have with somebody that has raised funds and is doing flips, either with their own money or with somebody else's money, is somebody that you can learn from. Okay. And maybe you want to be in that position. Maybe you're one of those creative people that goes, you know what? I get a sense of pride flipping properties. I get a sense of pride in interior design. I get a sense of pride in driving by a house all the time and going, you know what? That house right there, I bought for $270,000 because it was destroyed. It was totally in original condition. Animals went in and were just trapped in the house and just did their thing. Right. And I went in there and I cleaned it all up and I sold it to somebody that's just starting out. Maybe this is their first home. Maybe it's the first family home, whatever. And you made it very nice. There's a lot of pride in that. So learn from the people that are already doing that. All right. Next, we're going to go into, LinkedIn. Let me share this. Stop sharing, present, share screen. I like going into LinkedIn. And what I do is I type in, this is something that I did very early in my career. I typed in real estate investor Phoenix, and I found some of the top buyers. Look at all this. Look at all the people that are in LinkedIn. Well, I don't have a LinkedIn account. Make one. There's a tremendous network here. And I'm telling you, the people that take the time to live in LinkedIn and their flippers and investors, they're going to be really they're going to be elevated a bit. They're going to make quicker decisions in my experience. And so I went on here and I started calling and connecting with everybody that was in the real estate. Here, look at this. There's hundreds of pages of this, hundreds of pages of people that say that they are an investor. This is how I found Josiah Grimes, who is Jamil Damji's partner, who they own Keegley, that we sold, I don't know, hundreds of properties with. Just from this call. Actually, I had a deal that I couldn't sell. I only had like 2 buyers, and both of them were out of town. They weren't responding to me at the time, early on in my career. And so I reached out here. I talked to Josiah. He called me back 15 minutes later. I made $12,000. He made 10. Like 15 minutes later, I had nobody. I was getting nervous. I was starting to inherit, right, the anxiety of the seller, the actual property owner. You know, there's a certain anxiety that they have. Is this property going to close? Is it going to be done on time? Is it going to be as smooth as possible? They'll go through that. That's part of the communication process that we have with property owners, is really just making them feel like they're in great hands. But sometimes we inherit that anxiety. Put in the chat if you've ever inherited the anxiety of a motivated seller when you get a deal out and all of a sudden nobody's like responding to your deals. Fair. It is a real thing in our business. All right. Next is, I'm going to go stop sharing. I'm going to go into DealMachine. I love DealMachine. DealMachine pulls a tremendous amount of our distressed property lists that we go after. And they also have the cash buyers right here. You can see right here, this is the cash buyers. I did it by the zip code. You can see 85015 here. And then I'm going through here, and I can definitely filter this down. This is only within a specific time frame. I think this is the last 90 days. It's showing 14 of the buyers here, probably more. Oh, page 1 of 14. So this isn't, I would set some date parameters around this. And just start reaching out to the people in here, right? What you can do is, especially if they own it in a LLC, this is perfect. Watch. I'm gonna just highlight it. I'm gonna go Google search, bippity boppity boo, open corporates. It's like magic. Oh, you can't see this. Share this tab instead. There we go. You go open corporates. This popped right up, guys. This was literally right here. I just Googled. I just right clicked. And where it says search Google, boom, it's right here. I look it up, and now I've got open corporates doing its thing, finding out right here, the active filing, right? I don't know why it's not clicking. Oh, there it is. And then you've got the address and the name here. And you can go into Facebook, you can go into Instagram, you could go in and search that address on True People Finder or Spokio. Spokio is good. White Pages, all those things, right? And then you call them up. You say, hey, I saw that you bought a property here in 85015. Wanted to see if you wanted to look at another deal. Boom, 20 contacts. 20. When you get a deal, call them. Call them. And you know you have a smoking deal when you're on the phone with them. They're like, I want it. I want it now. Give it to me. But here's the thing. This is the interesting part. And this isn't throwing shade on any part of the industry. But I will tell you this. When you sell direct to the cash buyer, the actual end investor, it goes way smoother, right? As opposed to just putting it out there on an InvestorLift, which I'm about to show you. It's an incredible tool. InvestorLift, or please don't post it to Facebook Marketplace. Please don't post it to Facebook at all. I mean, that is where the snakes live. I'm telling you, do not post your deals to Facebook. Do not post your deals to Facebook. Reach out to these actual owners, and you know that they're going to be the ones closing it, and they're not daisy chaining it and selling it to somebody else. And now you're trying to organize their earnest money and making sure that they're closing, and you don't know who the end buyer is. It turns into kind of a disaster. If you're working with somebody great that does Dispo a lot of deals, that's fine if you really trust them. Like, I've got Spencer Caldwell coming up, guys. Holy cow. He's coming up at the top of the hour. I mean, I don't know anybody that has done more wholesale deals than Spencer Caldwell. He does between 3 and 5 a day. And at the highlight, 8 to 12 a day. I think it's over like 16,000 or 20,000 or some ridiculous number. He's going to be on here at the top of the hour, sharing his wisdom in 15 minutes and for 15 minutes at the top of the hour. So make sure you stick around. Not only that, we've got Jeremy Thornburg, who's my disposition manager. He's absolutely incredible a half hour after that. And then a half hour after that, we've got Robert Wensley, who owns InvestorLift. And he's going to really give us some stats on what he's seeing around the country. But let's go back to InvestorLift here. Let me go into there. Is that showing, Matt? No. Share, stop sharing. I'm going to go here. I got to get better at this, Matt. I really do. I've done it 1,000 times. I don't know why, InvestorLift. I got the big boy. I got the God mode on this thing. But I just pulled up a random address in 85015 and look at all these buyers. And what I did is I removed the iBuyers just because typically they just take a long time, and it's like Open Door, OfferPad, that type of thing. Redfin offers that. And they're still over here in Redfin now type of thing. But I'm looking for these ones. I know this guy. This guy does a tremendous amount. I've got his contact information right here. I got the contact information for all of these real cash buyers. And that's a beautiful thing about InvestorLift. It comes with all the contact information for all the buyers that are buying in that area recently. And then it shows you what is the percent that they buy at. It's bananas. Look at this. Average hold time, average purchase price, average sale price. This is right in line with what we just saw in Zillow. Buy for $270, sell for $420. This is buy for $260, sell for $440. Average hold time, 161. These are real buyers. Look at this ARV percentage that they buy at. They purchase and sell, gross profit. They really changed the game. They really changed up the game with InvestorLift. And I think I've got TTP is our coupon code for them, so you could try it out and get a discount. So if you're interested in not using InvestorLift, make sure that you do. Okay. Awesome. So guys, that should get you going between LinkedIn, between Zillow, between DealMachine, and between InvestorLift. By the way, with InvestorLift, if you can't afford InvestorLift because it is a little bit pricey and you're just getting started, find somebody that has an account. Find somebody that go register on InvestorLift. Find people that are selling deals in that area. Reach out to them and see if they got buyers for your deals. Collaboration, baby. Vet them out. Make sure that they communicate well. Make sure that they're not just terrible at getting back to you and responding and that type of thing. But typically, the people on there are very motivated. They're very good. They're doing this all day. They wake up at 6 a.m. looking at deals, and they're selling till like 9 p.m. Usually it's the young hustlers out there that are taking other people's deals and selling them or their own deals. And so it's a really, really, really excellent resource for you to sell your deals. Even if you don't register for it, you can get in there and talk to the people that are posting deals on InvestorLift. Like just register for InvestorLift as a buyer, and then you can get access to all those deals that are popping up in your zip code that you're selling your deals. All right. That's the thing. But remember this, you got to go back to, am I getting real deals? Am I going 70% minus repairs when there's over 2 months of inventory? Am I using this chart right here to estimate the repairs? So you got this, right? Which is telling you that, which is showing you 70%, 80, 90. But are you making sure that you are using this fix and flip repair calculator? All right, because that's really important. Will you see if the notary's here? Awesome. So use the fix and flip repair calculator. Use this right here. As a general rule of thumb, we've got the offer. Come on in. We're just live in front of the YouTube audience here. So what's your name? Lucas. Brent. Nice to meet you, brother. Nice to meet you. I'll give you this. We're closing a deal here on Laredo. Awesome. I've got a blue pen for you too. And I'll just do my thing and you let me know when you want me to sign. Sounds good. Awesome. So guys, when you're speaking with a property owner and you're wondering what to offer on a property and you just want to give kind of a rough ballpark, remember, if it's 250,000 or more, you want to be at about 50%. If it needs work, if it's in original condition or needs a lot of work, like this deal that we're signing now. This deal on Laredo, the owner had owned the property since like 1994. Her husband had passed. Her family had moved away and she wanted to move to Arkansas, and she didn't want to upgrade the property. She didn't want to fix it up. And then she also, again, was leaving animals in the house. And, that was just making the whole house a certain odor, so to speak. And so we were able to, it was a pay-per-click lead that came in, and we were able to get it done. We were able to buy the house, and I'll give you all the stats once we're done here, and fix it up. We actually fixed up this property and sold it. But again, none of our own money. Used private lenders for all of it, and yeah, we're able to do it. Awesome. How many signings do you have today? 7 signings. 7 closings. Is the market heating up, or the same, or slowing down?
I think it's heating up a little bit.
Really?
It is.
More signings?
I think so.
Yeah. Are you doing more traditional deals with realtors or more investor deals?
Investors.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that just because of this title company?
So I work for all of them. So
yeah.
I've actually been staying busy with a lot of investors. So
awesome. So do you have your own notary company?
I do.
What's it called? We'll give a shout out and get you some clients here.
It's LEAZ Signings.
Awesome. Did you expect this?
No, I did not.
Are you uncomfortable?
No, I'm fine.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good. Awesome. I always like finding out from the notary how the market's going, because you guys are on the front lines, right? You guys are the ones that actually see the closings, right, as opposed to just people that open up escrow, right? Awesome. Here we go. Oh, you know what? This is black. It looks like it's a blue pen, but it's a black pen. Here we go. Why do you sign with blue, by the way?
So when they do scans, they can tell which is original.
Oh, okay. Got it. Cool.
Even though we have color scanners now.
Yeah.
But
yeah. Got it.
They tell me.
Yep. Awesome. Yeah. Best real estate podcast out. Awesome. Guys, make sure that you're putting your questions in here. If you have any questions about finding buyers for your deals, make sure you put it in the chat so that we could do it. We only have 1 question starred so far. We just went through a lot of material. So I know that there's questions. That's the point of doing this live show, or I just do this pre-recorded and not answer any questions. And so make sure that you put in the chat if you have any questions, and then also let me know if you're closing on some deals. All right, here we go. Get it out of there. There we go. And guys, I will break down this deal in just a second. What's today?
28th.
28th. 24. There we go. Awesome. What about posting to Pace's Facebook group? Great question, Robert. It just depends on what kind of deal you have. And I still wouldn't. I wouldn't put it to Facebook. I just don't. The public group is like 120,000 people. You know what I mean? Like I don't care who it is. I mean, he's got a phenomenal group, but if you're in the private group, sure. But if it's the public group, then I wouldn't post anything to any Facebook group anywhere. 28, 24. There you go.
Thank you.
Awesome. The buyer of this house is purchasing it cash, which is awesome. And yeah, you got 59 people watching us do a signing here.
Any renters, any liens?
Nope. No liens, no renters.
Construction the last 6 months?
Yep.
Permits?
Nope. All cosmetic.
Perfect.
Yep. Can you give us some detailed tips? Matt, will you pull up the 7 steps to comping, please? And put it up for us. And we'll get that going. And this is set to close the 30th?
29th.
Oh, nice. Tomorrow. Day early.
Right.
Awesome. So number 1, you got to start out with Randy. You got to start out with the location, right? You go neighborhood first, half a mile, and then within a mile. And then you want to make sure that you are You know, if you have to go out, you go out, right? But the best best comps are going to be in the neighborhood. So I want to see what properties have sold in that neighborhood that have been flipped. I want to see what the highest comp is in that neighborhood. That's the best looking. All right. And
Just the EIN number, name of business, forwarding address, and signature.
okay, got it. Let me get that real quick. Let me call Jackie. I don't know do you know the EIN number? Yeah. Okay. Hey, what is the EIN number? What did I have to put here? An address? Oh,
Yes.
okay. Here we go. Got it. Thanks, Jackie. Awesome.
Not Arizona owns 100% of the
Yep.
property.
Yep. 100% there. Next is timeline, guys. You want to go back 90 days and then 6 months and then a year. You don't want to time travel too far because there's a lot of changes, especially right now. So you want to make sure that you're running comps that are within 90 days because that's going to give you what people are buying houses for right now. All right. And so, Randy, we have access to InvestorLift if you need it. I could hook you up with Adrian, who's on my team, and he could help sell some of your deals if you need some help with that for sure. Next is age. You want to be plus or minus. By the way, guys, these are appraisal rules here. No, I don't. A closing protection letter? What's that?
If title company were to go out of business
Oh.
before this closes.
Really?
Yeah.
That's wild.
If they go out of business, I think there's bigger issues.
Yeah, we're going to have some bigger problems for sure.
Proceeds. Did you want this sent to a bank?
Yeah. Yeah.
Just-
I'm going to have my assistant throw that in.
Okay.
Yeah. Do I need to sign anything there?
Just, do you know the bank name?
Bank of America. Yep. That should have already been sent to them. That should have already been filled out.
Just initials here.
Okay.
And I'll touch base with them.
Okay. We'll get that info over to them. Da-da-da. 24. There we go. Cool. What else?
Just need this information.
Okay. There we go. Guys, by the way, I asked Rafael Cortez to be here so that we didn't just sit here doing this, but he abandoned me somehow. I don't know what happened. East Pearson Street, Phoenix. Cool. Guys, you got to go floor plan. The floor plan has to be the same, right? This is, single stories with single stories, two stories with two stories, single family, multifamily, townhouse, condo, land. They all have to be the same type of property. And that's the way that you run it. And then condition. Is this
Just initials.
Yeah. Sorry, I kind of screwed that up. And then the condition, how much will it take to rehab and renovate? And what is the potential? What will it sell for once it's totally fixed up? So, that's the 7 steps of comping. And so that is if you really have to sharpen your pencil, but you should be able to just look and pull comps in that neighborhood and see, okay, this property is similar size as this. It's the same, amount of stories and floor plan. And sorry.
No worries.
And then you should be able to pull a really, really, really solid comp. That's my copy.
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you.
No problem. Thank
Great
you.
to have you on here.
Yeah.
One more time, guys. Give him some love.
Bye,
Awesome.
guys.
Thank you so much. So let's go to the whiteboard and I'll show you, Matt, if you'll switch up the mic here. So this was a PPC lead. Okay. Remember, guys, there's inbound leads and then there's outbound leads, right? You know, this inbound is going to be your marketing leads. You are spending money for people to call you, they call you or reach out to you, right? And there's kind of a hierarchy here. At the very top is going to be referrals, which isn't really marketing, but it's building a good reputation. But second to that is going to be PPC. And then here is, you can do direct mail, you can do PPL, you can do bandit signs, all those, right? But PPC is without a doubt the absolute best because it's intent-based marketing. It's intent-based marketing where people are actually searching you out. So outbound obviously is going to be like texting, cold calling, and door knocking, right? So there you go. And then you know, you usually start here, right? Because you have more time than money. But then once you have the money, this helps free up your time here with being able to get less leads, but more quality leads, right? So this was a PPC lead. We bought it for $500,000. Okay. We had I'll tell you right now, the loan payoff on this was $452,800. So what is the math here? 47,200. 47,200. This is from a private money lender. This is just a family member that wants to invest in my deals, and I give them 8% and $1,500. Okay, it's just a nice passive income for them to be the bank, which I do this for other flippers here in town that I've established really good relationships with, is where I do this, and I get a little bit more than this. And you might ask, why would you lend on other people's deals and not just lend on your own deals? I wanted to challenge the company to have no money into this and raise the funds. Because remember, you know, if you really look at the core, the true core of real estate investing, it's find deals, real deals, to raise funds, and 3, property management. That's really the core of the business, is those things. We start out finding deals, obviously. We got to find deals, deal or no deal. Without that, you raise as much funds as you want. Property management, you can know everything there is to finding the right tenant for your properties, but it's still not going to work out. So then we put into this property about $50,000 in repairs. We did the floors, we did cabinets, we did appliances, we did some other things here and there. You're late, dude. You're super late. I don't know what's happening. They had to watch me like sign a thing. That's fine. Here we go. And then, guys, Rafael Cortez, everybody. He's here and he's ready to rock and roll. And so at the end of this, my cash balance in this thing, and we've got costs, you've got realtor costs of, this was 4% total. I did 4% total on this, which is 1.75% to my listing agent, and then 2.25% to the buyer's agent, who brought an incredible buyer that came in cash. And so my cash to close on this thing, I'm sorry, not the cash to close, but my funds that I will be receiving, the balance due to seller, is just over $200,936. Let's show that there. Let's show that on that. But obviously there's, it's right here, 200,936. There you go. So you guys can see that. And we don't do a lot of flips, Raf, but this one was just phenomenal. It was in a really great area right by the Intel factory. And so we knew that it would go fast. Of this, you know, obviously you have to subtract out this You got to subtract out this, and then you got to subtract out all these and some of the other closing costs. I think if you look at that, if you guys will help me do the math, that's 97,200. That is, I think that this was like 20,000. And so I think we're going to be around on this thing about 80,000 in profit. 70 to 80,000 in profit there, which is a good deal. And that's why we wanted to do that flip and get that done. So yeah, good deal. I love massive deals.
Nice.
Massive deals over here.
Nice.
Hey, brother. Massive deals over $50,000. What fires are you putting out?
Closing fires. We had a probate deal that was going south, and I got caught on the line. That's why I wasn't here.
What was happening?
So we had a lien that popped up very last minute.
Yep.
So we literally, like, we're closing on this thing today, and the lien popped up today. So we had to get that situated.
Yeah.
We're gonna take a small hit on it, which is fine. I mean,
How
the
much?
spreads are it's gonna be about a $1,200 hit, $1,250, something like that.
Yeah.
So it's nothing crazy, but it did pop up, and it wasn't allowing us to move forward and do the closing and
What
complete
kind
the
of lien?
process. CC. So it's one of it's water filter.
What?
Yeah. So they were financing a water filter. They didn't pay for it. The person passed away. There were 6 people in the probate deal going on. So it was a cluster of a mess.
Gosh.
And yeah, so it's a lot of times it's not even the amounts, right, that kill you. It's like the process and the signatures and the little things that pop up. I call them banana peels. But anyways, I had one of those this morning.
Yeah, a bunch of bananas.
Yeah, you slip on those things, man. You land on your butt.
There you go. Let's answer some questions here. Shane, I live in a smaller town with few comps. I have a property under contract that I got a great deal on. What's your recommendation? Just making sure my comps I got are legit or as close as possible. Yeah, Shane. I would also find somebody. I would register on InvestorLift, and I would go see what they have available in that area. And I would talk to anybody that's listing properties in that area if you don't have a tremendous amount of buyers, and then go back if you didn't catch the beginning of the show, and go find all the listings that are flipped and or purchased from Zillow. From you can go into LinkedIn, see if there's anybody specific that says I'm a real estate investor in that area, and then go into the DealMachine or one of those other resources. PropWire is free. You could pull your cash buyer database. What would you do?
Yeah, one that I'm loving right now in quite a bit. We're having great results with is InvestorBase.
What is that?
InvestorBase. It's a platform. It's a new one. They're actually in Family, the Family Mastermind.
You were telling me about this.
Yeah, but I mean, it's pretty solid. Anyways, you log in, and you literally get they pull from the records. That's what I like. You can't sign up to be a seller on this thing. You have to actually close on a property and be a seller on record.
Yeah.
And then they'll pull it up. And when you go in there, drop your address. It'll compare similar properties, see who's bought that type of property before, and then do a cross reference and tell you what they bought it for, what activity is going on in that area, like that little pocket of an area.
Yeah.
And then it'll give you the phone numbers, so you can pick up the phone and call them and whatnot.
InvestorBase.
InvestorBase.
Is there as many deals on here as the other ones?
No, so
As
they don't have deals on there. It's straight up buyers.
Oh, it's just buyers.
It's not a marketplace.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not a marketplace. So
they're just giving you the
yeah. So they're giving you the actual just the buyers for those areas, and then they'll cross reference what's who's a landlord and who's a fix and flipper.
Yeah.
And it'll tell you what they paid for that property when they like wholesale, right?
Yeah.
So it's pretty interesting. We're using, I mean, obviously we're dispoing the heck out of it on the dispo side, and we're using it a lot too on the acquisition side to see what people are actually buying, especially if you're going virtual and you don't know, like there's a lot of markets that I'm not too familiar with. Yeah,
Right.
you get deals there.
Right.
So it's like, all right, let's see what they're paying in that area, and then we'll use that as a threshold. So it works.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So InvestorBase. We got
Yes,
another
sir.
question. Robert's coming after us today. I love it. Keep them coming. Robert asks, do you do any takedown method deals that Jerry Norton likes? If so, any tips? Yeah, we'll close on a bunch of deals, Robert. So we build relationships with actually the lender, the hard money lender that gave us the $452,800 on that deal that I broke down that we just closed. It's right here, or closing tomorrow. They usually give us 100%. Because we've built a really good relationship with them, and they know that we get really good deals. On this one, because we were going to do a flip, They wanted us to put a little bit more skin in the game, and it was a little bit higher than we typically go. Typically, we're in like the 270 to 350 range if we're going to do a takedown property. This was a little bit higher, so I think they wanted a little bit more skin in the game. But yeah, I love it because what happens is we do a lot of deals where there's a post-possession, right? A post-possession is, let's take a look at it here real quick, just so that everybody understands what it is. Post-possession is you close on the deal, you actually buy house, and then you do an agreement called a post-possession. This is the paperwork that you write in, or an addendum to the contract, and usually it's like 30 days or a couple weeks, and that means that the seller that you bought this house from can stay in the house for 30 days after. They have their money. They're able to organize all the moving expenses and put a down payment on a rental or a new house or whatever they're doing with it. So usually this is with owner-occupied properties. Sometimes it's with tenant-occupied properties. It just depends. But usually it's going to be the owner-occupied properties that we do a post-possession. That's when we'll close them right away. But remember, there's an additional, what do you think, $5K in costs, maybe more?
Yeah.
$7K, $8K to take it down, pay the closing costs, pay the hard money lender, at least 1 month of interest is typically what you're going to get if you can get 100% financing.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's going to be a little bit more expensive. And you take a bit of a hit. So we do those on whatever has a big juicy, spread on it. Then yeah, I mean, you don't want to mess around with those properties. If you have the ability to take it down, take it down. But yeah, like another strategy that I mean, we've done in the past, sometimes we roll in like the estimated rehab to the sales price, so it's part of the loan, and then we get that money back at closing.
Nice.
We talk to the lender, we talk to the person that we're dealing with, and let them know how that's gonna play out, and we will, if we can't get 100% financing on that property, sometimes we'll roll it into the lending. But again, you're gonna end up paying a little bit more out of pocket, taking a hit.
Yep.
But it's worth it when you're making $80,000 deals.
Yeah, for sure. Avient Realty. Hey, Brent, I have a vacant land under contract and need an end buyer for it. It's under contract for $15,380, and I'm asking for $25,000 from an end buyer. Can you joint venture this deal with him? Maybe. Depends on where it's at, and depends on if I like the numbers. But yeah, I mean, we've got access to every cash buyer in the area because of InvestorLift. RAF has Investor Base. So
I use InvestorLift too. I mean, we get great results through that too.
By the way, guys, in about 12 minutes, Spencer Caldwell, boom,
the man, the myth, the
right?
legend. Yes.
Probably the best entrepreneur I know, like personally know, like really, really know. He owns like everything. He owns like 12 or 20 businesses. We'll ask him. I don't remember what it is, but he owns a barbecue place. He flips 5 to 8 properties every single day. He owns a real estate brokerage that I hang my license with. He owns all sorts of different things. He's just an absolute savage when it comes to being a business owner, a true entrepreneur.
He started making content lately.
Yeah.
But he's been buying, I know he's been buying my deals since 2012.
Oh, bro. Yeah.
And,
we've been working with him forever.
So for the longest time, I was like, this person is a myth.
Yeah. Oh, I know. I think he's done 16,000. We'll have to ask him. It might be 16. It might be 20,000. It might be whatever. I might be crazy, but I'm pretty sure it's around there because I had him on the podcast before. But it's absolutely incredible. You want to stick around for that. See how he sells a deal a day, or not even a deal a day, several deals a day. We got Jeremy Thornburg, my disposition manager, coming up in about 40 minutes, and then Robert Wensley might be coming in studio.
Oh, nice.
Owner of InvestorLift, to give us some really, really, really great information on what are the best markets, what's he seeing out there, is the average assignment fee going up or down, all those things. And by the way, guys, I will tell you this, the height of real estate investing and real estate wholesaling was 2021. It's not even close. If you look at the Google search records for how do I wholesale real estate or learn how to wholesale real estate, all of that, it was a massive spike in 2021. And then interest rates did what interest rates do in 2022. And I think that kind of shook a lot of people. And I think Robert's got some phenomenal, I thought I saw a reel that he did or a TikTok that he did that like 60, maybe it's 40%, 40 to 60% of wholesalers are out of the business this year.
Yeah. Well,
Wide open.
He's got, I'm telling you, man, he's got access to that data too because of all the clientele he's got under InvestorLift.
Yeah.
Right. So he's able to see like who's actually doing deals, who's not doing deals.
Yep.
What's going through the pipeline. What are people buying for? So he has a lot of really, really, really good insight. I had him on the podcast, man. The guy's a wealth of knowledge. So, man, it's such a stacked show today. I like it.
Stacked show. Absolutely incredible. We're just warming up here, guys. Why don't we give some stuff away?
Let's do it.
Let's give some stuff away.
Do it.
Okay. So we'll go. We're going to throw some darts.
Dennis.
Over here, the orange balloons are going to be, we'll do this, right? We're going to do we'll give you the book, Real Estate Deal Maker by our good friend, Henry Washington. Phenomenal book. That's a Bigger Pockets book.
Dude.
We will do the incredible Trapper Keeper with the master lead sheet. Remember, guys, with the Trapper Keeper, it doesn't only trap, it also keeps. Very demure. Very, very demure.
Wait,
next, second row. Second row is we'll be twins. We'll be twins on this thing. The second row is going to be this.
It comes
here.
with the guns.
We're going to send this out. Yeah, it comes with muscles built into it, which is absolutely fantastic.
Comes with the biceps.
And then where's the hat? The hat is going to be the bottom row. We're going to throw this out. So I'm going to throw the first round here, Raph. I'll let you do the second round. And guys, make sure that if you're not subscribed, subscribe to the YouTube channel if you're getting value out of this. Hit that alert button. We've got some really, really exciting news coming down the pipe in the next couple weeks, which is going to absolutely blow your face off and really open up this show to something cool, which I'm excited to share that with you. But today, somebody in here in the comments is going to get either Trapper Keeper, a shirt, or a hat. So here we go.
Bam.
Going long distance.
Oh, one shot.
Listen, I am telling you, that's from 700 feet away. Absolutely incredible. This is a huge studio we have here. That's the Trapper Keeper. That's right, Handra. There you go. Also, we're going to do a little game that we like to call Which Would You Rather? Let's not do the surprise one, Matt. Let's do the houses first. We'll do the other one in a second. But which would you rather? Guys, we need your help here. We always put up really, really incredible properties so that you can choose. I guess I got to move this out of the way a little bit here. Which would you rather? Number one, this mountain estate. Look at this grand entrance. You're walking up not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 steps to the front yard, to the front door, but you also have a 3-car garage with above the garage apartment. It looks like you got some sort of solar panel action there to keep the world green. You know what I'm saying? By the way, though, solar panels are a scam. I'm just telling you right now, it is ridiculous. Solar panels are a scam. I'll fight anybody on that. Go buy a house. Go do a wholesale deal with solar panels on it. It is a mess. It's an absolute mess. If you think a lien for a water softener is bad, try solar. Anyway, not to offend anybody that sells solar, go do your thing, hustle. Come to the real estate though. Come to a real industry. All right. Next, look at this. Look at this beautiful estate. I don't know. Is that water behind it? It looks like it, right? Maybe this is a golf course house. Can you imagine? I hope not, but that grass behind there looks really nice and manicured. I would hate to live on a golf course because I would hate a really nice house like this to be hit by golf balls all day long by a bunch of knuckleheads, but very nice. You got another guest cottage here, a very traditional type of architecture. You've got beautiful skies. Look at that. You got the pool here. This one comes with a jacuzzi because I assume this is a winter retreat, a jacuzzi. That's a fancy way. That's the official word is jacuzzi. So guys, put it in the chat if you'd like number one or number two. Number one or number two, put it in the chat. We want you guys to vote on this. Make sure you got your mic to you there. I just moved that away. They can see it. Number one or number two, which one would you rather own? Which would you rather own? Put in your answer. And I'm curious. You've got the mountain estate or the kind of the golf course pondy a big giant estate. They just look so cool, right?
Yeah.
It looks so cool. Those are really, really, really nice.
I have
So, huh?
I have mine already picked out.
You got yours picked out, guys. Put in the chat. Looks like number one is taking it so far. But we'll see who else wants to participate.
You know what
Awesome.
I think? What I really like about houses, like when they have that multi-level.
Yep.
on the-
It's awesome.
Yeah. On the
Yeah,
ground.
built into a mountain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. It's
There you
pretty
go.
cool.
All right, guys. We'll get to a couple more questions here. Classic crispy bacon. How do you run numbers on a rental? Have a condo under contract for 80, renting for 1,100. HOA is 300. ARV is 133. Rental comp 1,500 at the highest. Needs no repairs, but if you put 10, could be a flip. Yeah, I mean 80 to 133 seems pretty good. Crispy bacon. Having a condo, you have to really make sure that the HOA will allow rentals. A lot of times they do, but it has to be under a certain percentage. You can't get FHA loans to purchase properties if too many of the properties are rentals. So there's a certain percentage that are allowed to be rentals. And if it's already at that, you're really barking up the wrong tree because you can't. So make sure that you talk to the
Look at the.
make sure you talk to the HOA and see where they're at with that percentage for sure.
Look at the CCNRs at
Yep.
the HOA.
Yep.
It'll tell you. But numbers, I mean, seem like it would be decent.
And somebody wants Avient wants some deals sent to him as well. Boom, there you go. Great picture.
No,
Look at
he's got the land deal. He's trying to send you info on that land deal he's got.
Oh, where can I send you more information?
Yeah.
There you go. You got to read it, Brent.
Yeah. I'm the verbally challenged person in this room. Okay, you can't take my spot.
Okay. Yeah, just DM me. A real Brent Daniels. Send me the info. Real Brent. Can we change that? That's not very demure. You know, it's not glitzy. No, what is it?
The real.
Cutesy. There you go.
Real.
Listen, if you're not selling it fast, it's not a deal. Probably. I'm just telling you. Yeah, with land, if it doesn't fly off and you've reached out to buyers on it and it's not being snatched up instantly, probably not a deal. You probably have to get a price reduction. And I can tell you in 2 seconds if it's a real deal. If it's what you want to do, make sure one, it's in a subdivision. I don't want anything that's rural. It's a total nightmare and a waste of time. And so if it's in a subdivision, if you put a brand new house on it, what does that sell for? And if it's, and you were saying you were selling for, you're looking to get 25 for it. That means that the house is a brand new house in that area, in that subdivision, has to sell for at least 250,000. So 10% is typically where the cash buyer is going to want to come in and buy that property. If it is in a subdivision, if it's rural land, you offer 10% of the assessed tax value. People are like, well, it's only assessed at $3,000. Great. You can offer 300 on that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you're talking to people that don't understand assignments, you're just talking to the wrong people. Most developers understand assignments. Most people that are building understand assignments. So yeah, it shouldn't be a problem. Awesome. Awesome. Oh boy, guys, we are here. We are in the presence of entrepreneur royalty. This guy owns 730,000 businesses. He's got 5,273 employees. No, I'm just kidding. But he sold more properties than anybody else that I know. Welcome to the live show, Spencer Caldwell. How are you, brother?
Hey, I'm doing great. Thanks, guys. Hopefully you can hear me, right?
We can hear you. Absolutely.
Oh, cool.
What's
Good, man. It's working.
how many businesses do you own?
So I actually just asked my girl just a couple days ago that handles everything. Sunny, I actually did a little posting on her this morning that'll come out in the next few hours. So Sunny is like my vice president. She's my boss. If she walks in, I say, hey guys, this is Sunny. This is my boss. So anyways, she told me that I had 42 LLCs. And so those aren't all necessary businesses, but I just couldn't even believe it. She told me that this today.
When you have to ask somebody, you have a lot of businesses. Let's just say that, Spencer. Right?
My dad was in the room and he was pretty disappointed. He's like, geez, Spencer, that must cost you so much to file all those taxes. I'm like, yeah, I know. How can we figure out how to just have one LLC and just make the same amount of money on one LLC than 42? How can we do that?
That would be good. You have too many interests though. You have delicious barbecue, you have
Different
delicious
verticals, yeah.
commercial property. You sell, I don't know what, 5 deals a day, 8 deals a day. How are things looking for you? And really, this show is all about selling our deals fast. So I just kind of want to pick your brain about that. So how's business this year so far in 2024?
Business is killing it, guys. Business is really, really good. If anyone tells you you're slow or things aren't going good, don't listen to them. They have nothing to do or know nothing about real estate. So business is busy. If you see me looking down, I am first and primarily here to help my clients. So if I look down, I'm responding to a text because in the next 10 or 15 minutes, however long Brent wants me, I'm going to probably go through at least 80 text messages while I'm on the phone with you guys.
80 text messages, guys. This is no joke. You will hear you hear the dinging and the dinging and the dinging. I actually think that this is the best thing that can happen for the show is to just see you in action, because you get how many texts a day, you think?
I go through 1,500 texts a day and 1,500 emails a day.
And so, yeah, it's hilarious. Matt's like, yeah, Spencer wants me to like email him the link in like 5 minutes before the show, or he won't ever find it.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, I didn't want to be too demanding there, but he read through the
No,
lines.
listen, we get it. So, so you're getting all those texts, and that's people that are wanting access to some of your deals, wants to buy some of your deals. What is it?
Yeah, it's mostly people asking if it's available and what access is, and I want to buy it type thing. So, so there's a couple of the texts. I just got an offer on a property for 200,000, but it was listed 230. As we're talking, he's not going to get it. If it's listed 230 and you offer 200, you might get it, but most likely you're wasting your time. Most of the assignments are like 10 or 20,000. So if you're offering less than 10 or 20,000, you're probably not getting the deal unless they go back and get a reduction from the seller, guys.
I mean, you do a lot of deals on a regular basis, man. What's the biggest thing that's moving the needle right now for you on the Dispo side?
Let me tell you just the last 10 deals that I sold price range. 600. Oh, those are close. 1 second. We've got last 10 deals, 566, 211, 237, 186, 300, 270, 300, 180, 270, 290, 400. So I would say 80% of those are under 300 that I just listed off.
Under 300 in our market?
300K?
Yeah. And we couldn't even see under 300 during COVID, guys. To buy under 300 is freaking awesome right now.
Right.
Yeah. Median price point is still in the mid 4s.
Yep.
So I mean, I wonder if that percentage just translates across the country.
So they text you, Spencer, and then you respond, and then who sends them the assignment?
So Connor is on my team, and my boy Ethan, who's 21, is on my team, and then I've got a couple other guys to help out, but mostly Connor will send the assignment.
Right. So how big is your team?
So I call it my day job. Amongst all my companies, my day job is primarily helping and responding to these text messages and emails, right? There's actually just me and 2 others on that team. However, we do have, so there's 3. And so it's really tight. We don't have departments. We don't have like if you ask, I'm the end all be all, and Connor and Ethan is too. So these people that have departments in their companies, they're trying to move a lot of properties. It takes 2 or 3 hours to process that deal. By the time if you do that, the deal's already sold.
Yep.
So I'm not a fan of that. So I'm not a fan of having like this department. You can only talk to this one. So
well, make sure that we don't stop you from responding to any of these. And we really appreciate you spending some time with us here. I think that this is it's incredible for people to see it in action.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because what you do is you put out an email list twice a day, right? An Excel list with all the properties and with the addresses and the price. And then people respond to you throughout the day.
Right. That's exactly
right. And then you also post to your Twitter account.
Yeah, we have that. Yeah, we do. So we have a live Twitter account. So as soon as the deals come out, they go to Twitter. And if like the most effective, the people that are buying the most, like just follow the Twitter and get the notifications, almost like a text coming on their phone. And just if it's not their area, their price range, their zip, their address, they'll just move on. So the players are buying off Twitter, and then a lot of good players just like to do email also. So I don't. How
do you get your deals?
So the last deal that I just barely sent out today was actually just an agent that I've worked with before that is a knowledgeable real estate agent they all drive me crazy. I'm an agent also, and I own 3 different real estate brokerages, but agents drive me crazy if they are not educated in regards to the wholesale auction world. Because if you show up to a listing and it looks like crap and it's not ready to list, you think you just walk away from that? No, there's money in every single deal. So so that particular deal I just got recently, since we've been talking, is from an agent that has it showed up and the house looks like crap and they got to get out of it.
It's wild how active the notifications are.
Well, I mean, do you hear that noise in your sleep, dude? Like it has to be always like you're having a dream and you're just
tune it out at this point.
Ding. Why did you put it on vibrate, bro? You're absolutely crazy.
Shoot, I did silence it for you guys just now.
No, let it go. Let it go. I want to hear it, dude.
Rip.
I want to hear I want people to hear what selling deals sounds like on the highest level.
It's like a slot machine, right?
Yeah,
it is like a slot machine.
Winning all the time.
But I mean, how many are you pushing through a day?
You know, my goal is 3. I say 3 a day keeps the doctor away from me. So that's the goal, 3 a day. So.
Guys, you have an opportunity, a short window here to ask a question to one of the top wholesalers in the country, if not with the tightest team. Make sure that you put some questions in the chat there. And so you're just sitting there. You're putting out your deals. People are texting you about access. People are texting you about what's going on with the property, if it's still available. You're responding to them, and then they say, "Hey, I want it." What happens?
So if they want it, they better get $5,000 to title immediately, preferably by wire. I'll give you the wire information. And you guys, we live in Arizona. I'm so blessed to live in Arizona. It's the best, easiest way to transact real estate in Arizona. We're in the 4th largest city in the U.S., and we're in a title and escrow state. I don't have to deal with attorneys to buy or sell a property. So just wire the EMD to title immediately. If you don't, you're going to lose the deal. And if you think you can get it tomorrow or the next day, you're going to lose it if it's a good deal.
Yeah, and you were honed in the fires of the foreclosure auctions.
Yes, I am. I just bought one this morning. I just bought a house on, the address is 20117 North Portico Way. Surprise. I just bought that property this morning for around $335,000. It's a 55 plus community. It's got to be worth 450 plus. Bought it for 335. So
what's your exit strategy on it?
This one, I run a professional bid service. And so this one is not personally for me. When I say I bought it, this one will go to a client, and I just made a quick buck on it. So
how many deals in your career so far, roughly?
Whew, it's got to be 10,000 plus. It's got to be 10,000 plus. I need to count again. I don't know. It's been a minute. So 10,000.
I think it was 10,000 plus in like 2014, bro.
I need to get the ticker.
Every time your name comes up, man, I keep telling people that you were buying stuff from me or stuff that I was getting under contract back in 2012. I mean, you've been at it and operating the same way. I mean, for years. So people want to know, right? Like, okay, what does it take to actually get consistency, to get in it, to get like the level of success that we look for? Like, I mean, right now we're seeing it in action. It's insane. Yeah, that's
awesome. Yeah, thanks. I appreciate it. It is all about consistency. And thank the good Lord, I've never taken a day off because I'm sick. And honestly, I feel like crap today. And if I was a police officer or a government or city official, I would be taking the day off. And so when you're an entrepreneur, you don't have that choice. I don't have the choice of figuring out how to catch up to 1,500 text messages tomorrow and just taking the day off. So there's just no days off. And I've been doing this for 20 years. And just putting it in. So that's the important thing, guys. So if you've taken a sick day, or if you think you're going to take one in the future, you might want to reconsider if you really, really want to build something out, guys.
One of the things that I've noticed about you too is like you have one of the most active buyers lists out there. Give us maybe 2 or 3 pointers on how people can build a buyers list if they're getting started.
Number one is just consistency. Like if someone texts you, text them back immediately. Don't wait. Like seriously,
it's incredible, right?
Yeah. So just be responsive and be on the phone and be known for someone that communicates and gets back immediately. So I built my entire business, for the good or the worse, right, for immediately responding and getting to people immediately and getting them an answer. And I've got an awesome wife that's put up with it for 20 years, honestly.
Yeah, but how do you find those buyers, Spencer?
You know what? They honestly will just come to you. It's not about finding them. I mean, you got to start somewhere, right, guys? But they will just come to you. If you respond to people and communicate to people, you don't need to go find people. They will find you.
Got it. So you just build a reputation and then people want to buy your deals.
Yeah, exactly. You build a reputation, respond people, and people will come to you. I get people every single day. I get 2 or 3 new people a day that I have no clue who they are. They just want to be a part of the system, right?
Yep.
And
When you kicked it off, you started at the auction steps, right? Building connections and networks, or your network like that.
I was actually 2004, right before the crash, doing Andor signees, and I helped 2,000 people from California come and buy rentals for a few years before the crash. And then the crash happened. I didn't have anything to do because people from California weren't buying. They were now losing all their houses. And so I went to go buy at the courthouse steps all the houses that we sold in the last few years, unfortunately. And so that's where I kicked off courthouse steps. And I've been there every day since. Yeah.
Wow.
But you grew up kind of super wealthy, right?
I did not. I grew up on a pig farm. I'm a 5th generation native. So I did not start wealthy, and I am not a trust fund baby. I don't have money like a lot of my friends who are in real estate that got money from family. I don't have any money. I did not start with money.
Right.
I started just with nothing to my name for sure. So yeah, the pig.
What are your kids going to do then? You know, growing up with all this, everything, right? How do you teach them?
It's just all about hard work and it comes. I mean, it's just my kids. I grew up in the country on a pig farm and learned how to work from the pig farm, right? So now that I raised my kids in the chicken coop in the city, what happens now is they have to have a passion and work on that passion 100% besides just school and grades. And so each of my kids have a passion that they've work on 100% and spend 28 plus hours a week. And so my boy played football. He's 21 now, working with me. My girl danced for 20 hours a week since she's 5. Now she's dancing in college at UVU. My 15-year-old skateboards 20 hours a week, and he's trying for 2028 Olympics. And then my 11-year-old plays basketball for 20 hours a week. So it's like, just pick a passion and work hard towards it, right? And just be a hard worker. If you work hard, it's going to come, right? So
if you had to start over with the knowledge you have now, how would you get your first deal? No cash buyer database.
I would go down to the courthouse. There's people down just to go see down at the courthouse where trustee sales transact, like literally millions and millions of dollars of cash, like transacting. I just go down there and watch. Or text me, guys, if you need help. Text me, email me, call me in the evenings. I'm happy. Tune into my YouTube. I give advice every single day about getting your first deal on my YouTube every single day.
When did you start YouTube?
Dude, I have like 0 followers, but I started, man, I'd say like 6-7 months ago. And I grind every single day. I do like a 2 to 4 minute video of just what my day's about and what's going on. So
what's your channel?
That's great. See, maybe that's why I don't have any followers. I got to look it up right now. I think if you just search Spencer Caldwell, you're going to find it. Just search Spencer Caldwell. It'll be the first to pop up here.
Awesome.
I'm gonna tell you one thing, man. I was pretty excited when you started putting content out. I started seeing you on the feed and the Instagram and all the reels and everything. I mean, it's all value.
Thanks,
it's really good to see it from somebody who's operating out there at the level that you are. So
thank you, brother.
On that, man.
What do you think? What do you think about the states that require a real estate license to assign deals?
I think it's awesome. I've been licensed the whole time doing it in Investor, and I encourage all of you, if you're in wholesale, to go get licensed and just follow the rules and do it. And just because you're not licensed, you're not following the rules. You're not. I mean, you could do it in Arizona either way, but I'm definitely one of those guys. Like, do it with your license and make it happen. I think that's great. I mean, if you have your license, you only have one edge up because now you can do comps. The person that wins in this industry is the person who can comp the fastest, right? So you can do comps a lot faster if you have your license. And you get deals that just kind of fall into your lap a little bit more when you're licensed. So I'm okay with being licensed. And for those states that require it, and you're not, and you are doing wholesale, it's fine. Just go get licensed. You'll be fine.
Love it. This is the greatest show ever. With him just dinging.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can't fake this, guys. This is real life. This is what happens when you build a great reputation, you build a great buyer base, and people know that you can help them sell their deals. There's a lot of people out there, especially real estate agents, that run across these deals. They understand what assignments are, but they don't have cash buyers. It's not their main business. And so they reach out to Spencer, especially people starting out in Arizona, reach out to Spencer, and they have him put it out there. And you have a unique setup because you just charge a flat fee to your cash buyers. You're not putting anything on top of the deals typically. And now obviously if there's a deal that you think is just smoking, you're going to take it down and do what you can. But you charge a flat fee, right?
Yeah, we just do a flat fee. We get the deal, like I said, from one of my agents, and then we'll shoot it out at the price that agent gave it to me. And my buyers know that they all pay a flat $1,500 unless there's some type of joint venture or something, that's getting creative as far as that goes. But yeah, we just charge a flat $1,500 and do our best to just do volume. Volume is my game for sure.
So you're not sourcing these deals. They're coming to you to help Dispo, and you're reaching out to them and getting permission to sell other people's deals when you run across them, right?
Yeah, that's exactly it. And you guys, thank you so much. I just got 3 new subscribers to YouTube. Thank you.
You know it.
That's
Bam.
awesome. Right? Thank you.
Well, guys, if you're watching the replay of this and you're not subscribing to Spencer, you're being absolutely silly, and just get out of the business. No, I'm just saying. Listen, he's going to put out. Listen, that is a wealth of knowledge that he's willing to share there, and it's a new thing. So it's absolutely great that he's doing that, and I encourage everybody to go and subscribe to that channel and hit the bell so that you can get updated on that. But listen, there's so many different models here, guys. My model is going direct to the seller, finding these deals, getting the bigger deals, having a team of sales guys that are going out there that do a great job with acquisitions. And there are times when Spencer sells our deals. Jeremy, my disposition manager, is going to be up next. He's actually waiting in the wings here, looking great.
Love Jeremy.
Jeremy
does an awesome job.
Yeah,
guys.
Jeremy does an awesome job, but there are times when you just have some buyers that are really unique, especially if it's in an area that we don't have a tremendous amount of buyers. You help us sell our deals, just like you help sell 3 to 5 deals every single day. It's bananas. It's absolutely bananas, Spencer.
Jeremy, I'm checking right now if EMD is in on 7344, buddy. I'll let you know ASAP. That's one that Jeremy and I sold together yesterday.
Nice.
Damn.
Awesome. Well, there you go. Well, Spencer, thank you so much, guys. Make sure you check out Spencer Caldwell on Twitter and on YouTube. You're the man. Get back to work. We don't want to hold you up.
I appreciate you guys. Thanks for having me. You guys are awesome.
Yeah. See you, brother.
You guys.
Bye. Ding, ding, ding.
That had to be 200 dings.
Not only that, he got out of the studio like instantly. He's like,
Yeah.
I got stuff to do. I'm getting 1,500 text messages a day.
Dude, we keep talking about how competitive, Phoenix is, right?
Right.
One of the most competitive markets, this and that. This guy is the guy doing, I think, one of the most amount of deals
In the country.
in the country, period. Like, follow the guy. He's leaving it all out there for you guys.
Let's do the math real quick before we bring Jeremy on here. Let's do the math. Can I put this on here, Matt, or no worries. Let me go to the board. Let me go to the board. Guys, right here. He's shooting for 3 a day. It's more than that, and he's getting 1,500. So he's getting $4,500 in fees. He's got 2 employees that I assume is working off of commission. Let's just say that they get a slice of that. So let's say that they get 20% of that. Let's just say that he's netting $3,000 a day. What's 3,000 times all the work days? He's probably going Monday through Friday, kind of banker hours, kind of auction hours. That's how many days are there in a year that isn't weekend?
Call it
200
times 12.
That's 250. Call it 250.
Yeah, 250.
250 deals times $3,000. How much is that?
780,000.
780,000. And by the way, guys, this whole thing of 3 deals a day is probably 5. I mean, he's making well over $1 million, and he has 42 businesses. What is your excuse? Is 42 businesses. It's absolutely bananas. And And what it pumps me up, man. I'm freaking pumped right now.
Yeah. I mean, it's cool to see. I'd never seen him work that way. Like I've never seen him, from behind the the curtain, and that's exactly what he does. Every time I've texted him, like he answers right away. And I thought honestly, it's got to be a VA. It's got to be something, but no, it's him.
Or
It's behind the phone.
some sort of. Well, Brent, I get this question all the time. Brent, what is the best automation for this business, right? And there's some good things that are there. Spencer is the automation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's just going bump, 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 bump. He's going. And I'm telling you, net bottom line to make over $1 million and zero marketing cost. Because to answer Adam's question, these are all referrals from other wholesalers that bring him deals to sell.
Co-wholesaling, yeah.
He's got 2 email blasts that go out every single day with Excel sheets that have, these wholesale deals. And then he posts to Twitter. And then he goes, and I don't think he has we didn't ask him, but I don't think he has a tremendously huge list of buyers either. Jeremy probably has a better idea of it, but
no. So what he has is a very responsive list of buyers.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So I mean, I rather have 1,000 people in there.
Yeah, because he responds to them and he keeps it going. So absolutely great. So Adam, he gets them all. He's just a dispo. He gets them all from Dispo, or he bids down at the foreclosure auctions for company. That's one of his LLCs, by the way.
Right.
AUS Company says, how would you structure a wholesale deal as the licensed agent? You. All right. There's a couple different paths here, but number one is you're going to be the buyer. AOS, you're the buyer on this. You're not representing anybody. You're the buyer. So on the purchase and sale agreement, seller's name, your name is your LLC, or you personally, however you've got it structured. Hopefully it's an LLC, and you've got your company in there. You assign it from your company to the other investor, and they essentially replace you in the purchase agreement. That's all wholesaling is. That's all these quick flips are. Yeah. This is how you flip properties without owning the properties before you close on the properties. Now, go ahead.
I'm a licensed broker. We just do it outside of the brokerage. It's a standalone. It goes through the LLC. It's got nothing to do with the brokerage itself. And I mean, it just keeps it clean. But then you are putting yourself as a buyer on this, and when you assign it, you're selling the contract to a cash buyer, and that's it. You're swapping out the name on that purchase agreement.
Yep. Oh, here we go.
Oh, crispy bacon.
Sold it.
Oh,
sold this deal. Condo. Here we go.
Damn. Let's go.
Had the deal, is on here participating, sells the deal. Boom. What'd you make on it?
4th deal.
What'd you make on
Come
it,
on,
Chris?
dude, don't be shy.
Crisp. Got that sold. Awesome.
It's
Absolutely
it's
awesome.
The best YouTube name I've really.
Yeah, I know. It's
crispy
awesome.
Bacon. I love it.
That is awesome. Here we go. Oh, there's a couple other questions here. Randy, my man Randy, Rhino Tribe, absolutely awesome. How many people on your team approximately? He's got 2 people on his team. What is your top 3 types of lists, probate tax liens that you've seen most consistently of your deals? Oh, that would be a great question for him. I don't think he knows, bro. I would be highly shocked if he even knows. Randy, you have to understand, on that level, he is just grabbing it. He's grabbing the deals. He's selling the deals. He doesn't care where these deals come from. He doesn't. He's just grabbing them, selling them. Boom. He probably has no idea how people got them. Whether maybe some on the market. Probably.
I don't think he works off of lists anyways.
No, he doesn't work. I think what Randy's saying is like the people that send Spencer all these deals to sell, where do those originate from? I think is the question.
Yeah.
So.
It's just his model, business model is different. Yeah.
Yeah, Dennis, this is a great question, and I've asked him this. Would you rather find buyers first or seller as a new wholesaler? Spencer's plan was he found the buyers. His story is he got hooked in with a group that were buying. It was like a big-time real estate coaching company that was helping people. They were raising funds to buy properties in Arizona, but from California, and he tied into them, and they wanted to work with him because he had done, they knew that he was working down at the foreclosure auctions. Guys, that's an underrated thing. Yeah. It's underrated to go down there and see the people bidding and go and have a conversation with them. One, they're the top cash buyers you can imagine because they know everybody and they're so fast with their deals. That's another great resource.
I know 3 or 4 of the OGs now, right, in the space here in the valley they started at the foreclosure steps.
Yep.
And they do that. I mean, now they do it electronically, but it's still the same process. They go in there, they bid, and go to town on it. You have to get in it. You have to get a little messy sometimes to get in front of the line.
Yep.
So
Oscar, most of the deals that he does are repeat buyers. Yeah, I mean, he's got a big list, but it's not huge. Yeah. Oh, sorry. He hasn't sold. Crispy Bacon hasn't sold the condo yet. He locked it up. That's all right.
It's still a bell.
That's all right.
It's
That's
still
a bell ring.
Yeah.
Yep.
Keep us posted, man.
What would you say to this? Just overall, I know it's probably meant for Spencer, but what would you say? How do you overcome past failures and keep going?
Clarity.
Focus.
Gotta have. Well, focus goes hand in hand with it, but I think clarity. You gotta have clarity as to where you're going, why you're doing everything. What wakes you up in the morning and gives you that fire in the belly, right? You got to have, okay, where do you see yourself in 6 months, and what's causing you pain right now that you're even thinking about moving into something, by yourself, right? So having clarity on that and then keeping it as positive fuel, sometimes, it can become a very, very powerful thing that you don't even look back to think about your failures. You're just looking forward at that point because you're clear on where you're headed, if that makes sense.
Awesome. Said we'll do this question and then we'll bring in Jeremy Thornburg,
my guy,
my disposition manager. Sells all our deals. He's actively selling some deals. He put out a deal this morning at 5:01 a.m. like a crazy person. I love it. We'll see if it worked and if we made anything on it so far. But said asks, I'm a new investor. I've been watching and learning. I'm starting today in the wholesale in wholesaling. What is the best way to get started with no money put into it?
If you're talking about the lead generation side, trying to find deals.
Yep.
I would go down the co-wholesaling route and door knocking, dude. We keep talking about that kind of stuff, but being a Dispo conversation, start signing up to all the investor, the wholesaler lists out there. See if you see something that's a fit, and then call them up, call that wholesaler, and tell them if you can push the deal for them. That's exactly to a degree, right, what Spencer is doing. He's we do it on a regular basis. We just got a JV deal in from one of my students in Cali this morning. So you're gonna be able to find deals that way. They're not direct to seller, but you still have the opportunity to make some money on them.
Yeah, listen, talk to people. You see an ugly house, get the owner's contact information. It's online.
Yeah.
Call them up and ask them if they would consider an offer on their property. That's what I did. All I did was drive around, find ugly houses, write down the address, and reached out to the property owners either by knocking on the door or calling them up and ask them if they would consider an offer on your property. And you will have to talk to a lot of people, and you will get rejected. And you will think that it's foolish, and you will think that it'll never work for you. And doubt, disappointment, distraction will start creeping in. But you got to push that down with massive imperfect action. And you have to find your tribe. You have to find people doing this business. You need to connect with people that are wildly proactive in your marketplace. Go have a conversation with them and squad up. Don't do this by yourself. But nobody wants to squad up with somebody that is an ask hole. Right? The ask hole, the classic ask hole where you are just asking questions over and over and over and you're not taking any action. You're not going out there talking to people. You're not out there finding opportunities. You bring something, you have a conversation with a property owner, you bring it to somebody that's a few steps ahead of you or has an established company, and then all of a sudden they help you do that deal. So number one is you got to find your tribe. You got to find people doing this because you need the support. Don't be an island by yourself. Number two, make sure that you can find them right here in this chat. Just let everybody know where you're working, let everybody know where you live, and you'll start connecting with everybody and go on to other YouTube channels and put, in the comments section. I live here. I work here. Anybody that watches this, that sees this comment, reach out to me. Here's my DM. Here's my Instagram. Here's my email. Here's my phone number, whatever. You know what I mean? Find people that are going to do this business.
Just to make a point on that, right? Like so far here, just in this one show, right? We've seen a deal get locked, get pushed. We've had a JV offering for money making opportunities here.
Yep.
So it's definitely out there. It's you just have to be loud about it. You taught me to be
Bro,
loud
in this
about it.
show, we've had a notary come in and I signed a deal that we're making $70K plus. You just saw that actually happen. You just saw Spencer Caldwell go bananas with, I don't know, 1,000 text messages while he's doing it. I'd hear that sound all the time. It'd be crazy.
Yeah.
And now
I'd go nuts.
we're going to step it up another level. Former NFL safety from Northern Arizona, first team All Big Sky, 2004, maybe 2003 as well. The greatest athlete that I personally know. He played for the Eagles. He played for the Green Bay Packers. He played for San Francisco 49ers in the early 2000s. Now he's 155 pounds of pure Dispo fury. It's one of my best friends. I love him so much. Jeremy Thornburg. What's up, man?
Hey, 185 pounds, not 155.
Yeah. Hey, all right. You've been hitting those weights. I love it.
I'm definitely lowering the bicep average by like 50% right now by joining this show. But hey, the show after Spencer, man, I can't follow the great Spencer Caldwell.
Well, listen, you're on my team and we have a totally different model and it's you know what I'm saying? I mean, he's going to do $1.5 million, maybe $1 million, and upwards to 2 million in a year. But over the last 12 months, we're at 2.8 million, bro. You know what I mean? And you've dispoed all of that. So he might be more on volume, but you're more on thickness of deals, baby. Thick like THICC. Is that it? Yeah. Thick deals. Right. And so different business model. And we've got plans to go to $1 million a month. And you're a huge part of that. And so there's different business models for all of this. And I think we've figured out our business model and you're the one getting the most out of every single deal. You're not just taking a flat fee. So it's a much different skill. And you do a phenomenal job at it. So how big is our cash buyer database, Berg?
It's around 10,000 right now. When we branched off trying to do that co-wholesaling method, we kind of lost about 3,000 buyers because certain buyers don't like getting all those emails all day long. They like to just see, from the individual wholesaler.
Yep.
And so, I made the mistake of having it on the same list. So we, bunch unsubscribed, but we got a healthy 10,000 still and working on getting a lot more right now.
Awesome. So you get a deal in, when are you seeing are good times to send out that deal? Are you sending it to the full list? What is your process for selling those deals?
It's changed a little bit just because the email world kind of got a little more strict on spam filters and all that. So right now I'm doing it by tiers. So we get a deal in, we put the blast together, put the text blast together, and we're sending the text to, like the vetted VIP buyers. And then I'm sending the first tier, 5:01 a.m. today, to the kind of the A-class buyers, the first like 2,000, 1,500. And what that does is it, instead of sending that mass 10,000 and it sets off the filters of maybe spam that you're sending so many emails at one point, it kind of prevents that, it kind of slows it down. And so then I schedule the next one for, like an hour or 2 hours later for the kind of the B tier of the buyers. And then like the very like inactive buyers that only open it ever so often is that third tier, maybe hour or two after that. And so we're kind of doing that to kind of not overwhelm those Gmail spam filters and all that.
How are you finding the top buyers?
I mean, kind of like what Spencer said, they come to you, when you send out good deals, because I think a lot of wholesalers out there are sending bad deal after bad deal.
Oh, yeah.
And I call it buyer fatigue, where they're just like, I'm not going to open this guy's email anymore because he's just sending these crap deals that just don't make sense, not enough meat on the bone.
Yep.
When you send great deals, you start to develop that relationship. Like, hey, I got a 1 out of 4 chance of finding a deal when Jeremy sends this. So he's going to open that email, be more excited about it. I would say out of that 10,000, about 4,000, 3,000 to 4,000 are very active every email.
Awesome. Is that a good percentage?
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, about 40%.
For active buyers.
That's
yeah.
what we should be shooting for when we're sending it out, is 40% open rate.
Yeah, I mean, if you have a smaller list, it might even have to be higher than that. I mean, my A tier is like 70, 80% that open it up. It's that third tier that, you know, you get like 6%.
Yeah. One of the things that we started doing with the email list specifically was if they haven't seen an email, opened up an email in the last 60 days, they go inactive, so we don't hit them. It just keeps the deliverability of the email lists, the quality of it keeps it high. And then it tells us like in reality, it's not a vanity number, right? Like how many actual, you know, people engaged do we have? So
yeah, and that's what I do. I don't send that third tier every time, especially like on a reblast, like a price reduction, something like that. And I'll move people from that third tier down to the second if they start opening it a little bit. It's more of like you send it to them every so often, having trouble selling a deal, because you don't want to, like Raphael was saying, that you don't want to, you want to keep that deliverability. That once it goes into spam, you know, it, as you've seen, you know, we have to, you know, restructure a lot of things, maybe open a new account and start all over from scratch. It's kind of a headache, so you want to protect that deliverability.
Yeah, love it. What happened to the deal this morning? We getting action?
Yeah, I got two people that want to see it. The problem with that one is the tenants are truck drivers.
Okay.
So they're going to be gone who knows how long. I'm trying to get Aaron on them to find out when can we show it. And if not, you know, I'm going to be like, hey, watch that video, look at those 30, 40 pictures, you know, get me an offer, kind of try to press someone to do it sight unseen.
Yep.
Sometimes you got to sacrifice a little assignment fee if you can't show it ever, and to get it done. But we have a lot of room on that. I sent it out at like 53,000, something like. I probably shouldn't have said that because, you know, I might have some buyers on here that now are doing some low ball offers. But
hey, deal's a deal. They'll figure it out. You know, if
Yeah.
they have a problem with us making 53, they're not our buyers. Right. And so do you run across that? Do you run across anybody that's given you any shade because of the amount that we make per deal?
it's very rare. What I find is someone you might not have worked with a lot. They see the assignment, you know, going to the closing table, and they start like trying to nickel and dime you to try to get some fees paid for.
Yeah.
Which only happens like 5% of the time at max. Yeah. Oh, what's this notary fee here that you're charging me? And then like they start complaining the title, and then you're like, okay, should we pay this notary fee just to get this deal done? And it tends to only happen on those deals you're making massive assignments on.
Right. They want to get a little, they want to feel a little better about it.
Yep.
yeah, well, I mean, I think one of the key things in Dispo too is like you were saying, right? If you start sending out crappy deals, people stop opening the email list. But you also thin out your herd when it comes to the quality of the buyers. Like a good buyer is like if they see a 50K, you know, spread or assignment, they're gonna find out eventually through public records or whatever, right? But if they see a number there and they have an issue with, you know, with that number when they're still making their, you know, their good profit on their end, I mean, it's not our buyer, like you said. We have to, you know, have some standards on that space. So and I've seen you do that before, so it's really good.
Yeah. Some new buyers, you know, you might be talking to them and they'll be like, hey, you know, I don't want to see these more than $15,000 assignments. And I go, you know what, you know, we work hard to go out there and find these deals for you. And it's not free to find them. You know, we have TV commercials, we have PPC ads, and that number you see, that is not our profit. You know, we spend a lot of money to find these deals. Yep. And it's just like you, when you flip the property, you know, what the price you sold it at and the price you bought it at isn't your profit. It's, you know, you had all those repair costs, those commissions. It's the same for us, you know, so just ignore that assignment number.
Yeah. And listen, the more that we make, the longer we can stay in business. The longer we can stay in business, the more deals we can find. The more deals we can find, the more opportunities we can put in front of them. The more opportunities we put in front of them, the more money they make. We run this show, baby. He and she and they and the companies that find the best deals win. That's what runs this whole thing. Listen, when all the equity got sucked out of the market in 2008 and 9, especially here in our market, but around the country, you had to buy a short sale. You had to buy a real estate owned, bank owned foreclosure. You had to bid at the foreclosure auctions. There wasn't a tremendous amount of property owners that had equity. We're in a different market now. Since then, we have gotten the biggest amount of home equity ever. Trillions and trillions and trillions. I'm going to Google it while you ask Jeremy the next question so that I can give you the actual stats. But we have more equity right now than ever. That means we can go direct to property owners. We can go direct to the actual owners of the property. We don't have to buy it at auction. We don't have to buy it on the MLS. We don't have to buy it from the short sales or bank owned properties or any of that stuff. We buy it directly from the property owner. So what are you going to do? You're going to build skills on effectively communicating with property owners that have an ugly property or in an ugly situation. That's it. Properties need investment.
Yeah.
They need investment. Guess what investment is? Risk. Investment equals risk. Any property that is bought is inherent risk. Anything can happen in the real estate market, or more than likely, people can make a mistake with their numbers because they don't know what they're doing and they can lose a ton of money, right? And so people are like, oh, they bought it for the example I had today earlier. I saw on Zillow, they bought a property for $270, put probably 70,000 into it, sold it for $420, $430. That's a nice profit. Right? And the only reason that there is that profit is because there's inherent risk. That's why you get great deals if it's run down properties.
Well, I mean, always going direct to seller too is going to put you in front of the opportunity to do whatever you see fit with that property, fix and flip it, do an assignment. I mean, there's so many things that open up when you're first, going direct to seller, which is the model that we primarily work off. But Jeremy, tell me, what's the best way to find, if you don't have a list of cash buyers, what's the best way to find the first top, 10 cash buyers that are going to start enrolling into your business?
I always like to suggest, squatting up with someone like me, someone like you, someone that is established in your market that has those 10,000 buyers plus, that, negotiate a fee with them. Hey, sell this property for me. You're going to get way more for your property if you squat up with someone with 10,000 buyers versus, trying to sell to your 3, 4, 5, 10 buyers. That's the first thing I always recommend. The second is, hit the active market, like talking to agents. See the agents that are selling flips, because guess what? They have a client that is a flipper. And many times those agents might have 3, 4, 5 plus flippers. And so you get one agent, you have 5 buyers that's underneath them. On the flip side of it, you can also get acquisitions done talking to those agents at the same time. So you're a new wholesaler, you're trying to acquire deals and you're trying to find buyers at the same time by talking to agents.
$32.8 trillion in equity in United States in properties. 32.8 trillion. That in 2019, it was 19.5 trillion. I wonder if properties are appreciating.
Wonder where it was in 2008.
I wonder if buying properties would be a good asset.
Out of how many houses in the nation?
143 million.
Whew.
So I love your stats, man. You always have great stats.
143 million. I'm curious. I love this business. I love this industry. I love looking at it and go, okay, what's the how big of a pie is this, guys? U.S. Census, and it's going to be out again, right? I think that they're already hitting us up. But the 2020 census had 6 to 10% of real estate is in distress at all times.
Yeah.
Of 143 million properties. That's between 10 and 14 million properties that show some sign of distress, whether that's condition, whether that's the financial distress, or just overall vacancy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, I think it all comes down to the fact that we're going to tell ourselves anything we want to believe, right? Like if you want to believe that you can make it in this business, you're going to tell the story that, Spencer was talking about. Like if somebody's telling you that the market is rough, it's slowing down, it's because they're not doing enough. This guy's doing enough. We see him busy, right?
Yep.
You're doing enough. And on the other side, you can take the the story from the headlines and whatnot, and take that as a real thing, and say, oh no, it's too competitive. I'm going to dip out and do something else. How bad do you want it? It really comes down to that, and then putting in the work. Get educated, right? Put in the work to getting educated, to get doing some of the trench work, building yourself up, building your buyers list, building your team and the people that you start working with, and it's squatting up. It's not that it's not rocket science at the end of it when we get to it. I think it's just people don't have or don't give it enough time to have the opportunity of results, and I think that's the biggest fallback that we see in this. So, what are you seeing right now that's the easiest to
To
dispo?
sell. Yeah.
It's definitely in the hot areas of the market, right? The hot zip codes, obviously, but majority of the time it's the low cost, right? The low ARV, low price.
What price point?
You have so many more buyers that are more comfortable in that, like for Phoenix, that under 400K ARV range, where they're paying in the 200s for it, maybe in the hundreds on some of these deals. Those are so easy to sell. It's like you get 5 guys that want it, and within 6 hours, where you're going to the higher ARVs, or maybe an outskirts town of Phoenix, and you kind of have to work hard for a few days to sell those deals.
Yeah.
Awesome. Jeremy, you're the best. Love you, bud.
All right,
Get back
guys.
to work.
Have
Go
fun.
sell some stuff.
I'll try to sell this deal for that 50K plus. And
50K,
Damn.
buddy. Massive. How many other deals do you have to sell this week? Did Joshua lock up 3 yesterday, or we're still waiting on it?
There's still a couple of signatures needed on one of them. I think he locked up two yesterday.
What about
And
RT?
then I
Ryan
think he
locked up 1, right?
Yeah, I think he locked up one other one. I think I already sold that one because that was a pre-foreclosure and I had like 9-day close.
Yep.
So I just know that one quick. Sold that one within a few hours the next morning when he locked it up. That was the one with Spencer was talking about that we did a deal together.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
What did we make?
That was a smaller one. It was about 11,000,
Cool.
something like that.
Yep.
It was a pre-foreclosure. We had our
It was a newer property, though, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
2014.
Yep.
In one of those outskirt towns. It's like Buckeye, but outer Buckeye by the farmland.
Yep.
So it's, less
yeah.
buyers, but, it got done quick because I had to be aggressive with the price because we had very limited time. We did to beat our competitors, we did like a 7-day close with a 30-day post-possession. So I needed it to get done quick. And so you kind of sacrifice a little bit of assignment fee when it's, that timeline's
You
quick.
just got to get it done. Got to make it happen.
So,
Awesome.
Heck yeah.
Thanks,
all right,
brother.
guys. You
Get
guys
those
take
deals
care.
sold. Awesome.
Good to see you, bro. Love you.
The man.
I'm
My
gonna be
man.
having flashbacks. I'm going to be out of town this week, beach town.
Yeah.
So yeah, just
I know you're gonna
reminiscing
miss
on
my
the
birthday.
on the last,
You're gonna miss my
birthday. Yeah.
We're all going to the cabin, and you're like, "Hey, I'm gonna go to the Sea of Cortez, named after your family, obviously, in Rocky Point, Puerto Penasco, and just ditch us. That's fine.
I think I did.
It's only my 43rd birthday.
You
Troy
remember,
Polamalu. I mean, maybe
was
you
it
heard
your
of him.
40th when you guys called me and I was out there that same night, and
Yeah.
then we did anyway,
that was funny.
Yeah, that was funny.
Awesome. Which would you rather? We have another one. This is interesting, guys. This is just because I'm kind of feeling silly this morning, and I want to know what you guys think. But who's better? Who's better?
Bruh.
Who's better? This is like a generational thing, I think, because I talked to Chad, who's my junior acquisition manager, and he's like 24, 25,
23 all
26.
day long.
And there he is.
Yo.
And he's like, LeBron's the best. He's amazing. He's just a freak. He's been doing it forever. He's got all the records, blah, 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 blah. But I will tell you this. In 1989, I was 8 years old. My dad brought me, he was from Chicago, but we live in Phoenix. So he brought me to a Suns game. And Michael Jordan put on a clinic. I think he scored like 50 plus points. Somebody could look it up, 1988 or 89. I think it was 89 because I think I was like 8 years old. And I was like, Dad, who's this guy that never misses? Right. And there we go. That is so
What's
funny.
up?
I told you somebody would say something. I told you, I said, don't put on 1 or 2 on there because people will like be all, let's see if, and then I was like, yeah, let's do it as a social experiment and see if anybody says something about number 2 on there. And Brandon got it. That's it. That's funny. Awesome. Raph, are you out of here?
Yes, sir.
Before you do, throw a balloon. Let's give something away. And then we got Robert Wensley,
Bam.
InvestorLift. He owns it. He's running the show. He's changed the industry. He's here. He's in all black. He's about to,
He's got a Johnny Cash vibe to him
he's
this
got a
morning.
man in all black. He's about to
Black.
really share what's going on behind the scenes. Guys, remember for the top one, we've got more. But if he hits the orange balloons, we've got the Trapper Keeper with Henry Washington's book. We've also got the TTP Master Lead Sheet, and you get that in a beautiful package sent by Alejandra with the Trapper Keeper. Not only does it trap,
It also keeps.
it also keeps. Second is going to be the Rhino shirt, and then we've got the Rhino hat for the bottom. So Raph, throw away, and let's go bananas. Boom. So 2 Trapper Keepers. It's a Trapper Keeper type of day. Love you, bud.
Well,
Thanks for coming in.
Love you.
Go get those deals
Fam, good to
closed.
see you all.
Raphael's closing. Robert, come on in, guys. Give it up for Robert Wensley. Here we go. InvestorLift in the house. How are you? Great to see you.
I
Great to
swear,
see
every
you.
time I come to the studio, it gets a little bit better.
Get by the
It's
mic so
a little
people
bit
can.
better. Every
That's right.
time.
We're
Look
stepping
at
it
that.
up.
Yeah, I love it.
Wait until the next month or so, where the show's going to take it to the next level.
Next level.
Next level.
You got
It's
some
a secret.
stuff in the
It's a
plans? Some
secret.
secrets. All right.
secret,
All
but,
right. Well, good to be here today with everybody.
InvestorLift. What is it? When did it start?
InvestorLift. We are basically Zillow for crack houses and trap houses.
Okay. Yeah. So ugly houses.
Off-market deal
Zillow.
platform. Wholesalers providing off-market deals to cash buyers.
Okay.
We got 5.5 million
Got my own here. Yep.
buyers
Okay.
in the system. Pretty much every buyer in America. If you're a real buyer, as soon as you do a deal, give it 60 days. We're going to find you. We're going to catch you.
Yep.
You're going to be in the system.
You're going to be a. How do you do that?
Well,
Like tech guys?
we got a lot of
A lot
different
of-
ways. The mistake that a lot of people do is they try to build their own buyers list one by one by one by one.
Right.
That's how I started. And
Yeah.
I was like, this is as soon as you go, if you're in one market, that's fine. But as soon as you go into multiple markets, that becomes very, very difficult.
Yep.
When we're on calls with wholesalers, I was talking to one of my sales guys yesterday. And he said, one of my favorite things to ask people is, how many unique buyers have you sold deals to?
Yeah.
In the past year?
Yeah.
And usually the answer is 5, 10, maybe 15, maybe 20. And we're talking to big shops that are sometimes slinging 20, 30 deals a month.
Yeah.
Like, okay, how long have you been in business? Oh, I've been in business for 3 years. Okay, so in 3 years, you got 20 buyers that are buying all your deals. You're a cash buyer employee, right?
Yep.
Yep. Imagine if you had 1,000.
Mhm.
If you had 1,000, you think you could make more money on your deals? Oh, yeah, of course I could.
Yeah.
Okay, imagine if you had 1 million.
Well, it's like
Imagine you had
anything.
5 million.
So remember, guys, buyers determine value in all things, especially real
100%.
estate. So that's something that we really have to understand fundamentally when we're making offers, but also when we're making offers and there's 5 other wholesale companies or buyers or investors also making offers to the property owner, the price is going to get bid up.
Yes.
It's the same thing when we are selling our deals, whether we own them, we'll take some deals down and then just put it on InvestorLift. And so it's not just assignments. This is flips.
Yeah.
This is takedown. This is just putting it out there to everybody that's a real serious buyer.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. If you get your deal in front of more buyers, you're going to make more money. You're going to sell them faster. I think I mentioned this last time I was on the show. When you buy investment, you can't just go buy it. You got to apply. Okay. So there's an application process. And one of the questions we ask people is, what is your average assignment fee?
Yep.
Now, nationwide, those applications typically come in at $14,000, $50,000 average assignment fee nationwide.
How much?
14 to
Got
15,000
it.
is typically where it's at. It
Yep.
fluctuates up and down, but that's typically over the last few years. That's typically what we have people reporting. Now on InvestorLift, once people start selling their deals on InvestorLift, we start tracking the sign fees. Last time I checked, so far this year, the average sign fee nationwide, 28.7K.
Oh,
So twice as much money per deal. So at this point, it's actually insane not to use InvestorLift,
Yep.
right? Because
Yep.
a lot of people they're getting a return on investment
Yep.
on their first deal. We're not cheap. We're the most expensive real estate software out there. There's nothing more expensive because we're value-based pricing, right? We're value-based pricing. We know how much value we can deliver, and we're just reinvesting that all.
Well,
back in to
how
get
many
more
people
buyers.
how many people are leveraging bigger companies that can afford InvestorLift to sell their deals until
Thousands.
they build up the bank account high enough to where they can start using
Yeah.
it themselves?
Yeah, if you haven't done a deal, we're not going to sell you the system. If you've only done one deal, we're not going to sell you the system. We like to get people plugged in when they're doing at least a deal a month, because what I'm a firm believer in is you should learn one thing, master that,
Yep.
and then learn the next thing, master it. So if you're watching this and you're just getting started and you're trying to find your first deal, you don't need InvestorLift. Go to a guy like Brent, have him sell your deals for you. Once you start getting like consistently to about a deal a month, that's when it's time to go learn the disposition side of things. That's when it's time to jump on InvestorLift. And like we try to make sure that every single customer has not just a return on investment, but an incredible return on investment. Where, a lot of people say buying InvestorLift was the greatest return on investment of anything that they ever invested in their business. So we try to maintain that reputation because it means we don't have to spend money on marketing. Right? Like only this year did we start running ads. Prior to that, everything was just word of mouth. We're like, my whole philosophy is marketing is the cost of having a bad product. If you just have a great product and people get great results and they have a great customer experience, they're going to tell their friends about it. And the first 3 years of growth, now we're slinging $1 billion of deals a month, and it's like up till this year, all of those customers just came in from other people talking about it.
Let's talk about where to sell deals. Yeah, big markets or small markets.
I like big markets. Now, there's every answer to any question in real estate should always have an asterisk of like, here's who this advice is for. Okay. So there's a trade-off. No, because so people are always asking, okay, I'm a new wholesaler, where should I go? Now, as we increase price point on properties, the volume of deals decreases exponentially. Like once you break around like $400,000 average sale price, it starts really dropping off. But in those higher price markets, we're getting the biggest rips, right? Like when I was working in LA, we'd have 50, 60, 70, $100,000 assignment fees. Sometimes I think our average was around 70,000 because we're wholesaling properties that are $700,000 houses.
It's just less volume,
way less volume, way more competitive though, right? Because
higher cost.
You go into Southern California, you go into Washington or Colorado, you have
Miami,
the craziest, most insane sales teams in the world, the guys that really know how to talk to people, right? Competing against you. So when you're first starting out, you shouldn't go into California. You shouldn't go into Washington. You shouldn't go into Southern California because it's just going to be too competitive.
Are you talking specifically like LA, Southern California, San Francisco, Seattle? Or are you talking just stay out of those states completely?
You could do like San Bernardino on the rural markets. Like that would
Sacramento,
be fine,
I see people doing a lot of Palm Springs and Cathedral City and some of the smaller markets for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah. So bottom line, I don't really care about the city as much. It's more about the price point of properties in the city. So 72% of all assignment fees are earned in the price point of 100,000 to 400,000. Okay. So that's
good
kind of the
stats,
sweet spot,
guys. Write this down.
100,000 to 400,000. Now, if you're better at sales, like I'm a little bit better at sales, I push it up a little bit. I like 250 to 500,000. So if you're a little bit more advanced, you can shift that up. And the easiest way to check if a city is good is you just type in the name of the city plus Redfin Trends average sale price. And then Redfin will show you exactly what the average sale price is in that market. That 250,000 to 500,000 is what I really like. But that's if you're advanced. Now, if you're not advanced, you might actually want to go real. You might want to go real because the volume of deals increases exponentially. You might want to be at that $100,000, $200,000 price point because it'd be way easier to get a deal. The cost of leads is way cheaper. Now, the catch there is you got to have buyers. So it's way easier to get a deal, but it's way harder to sell them, right? Like I have a graph that I can show you where population of a county versus days it takes to sell a deal.
Yeah.
And a lot of these small counties, average days to sell a deal, 60, 70, 80 days. Contract fallout rate, 60, 70, 80, 90%.
Yep.
And then the average assignment fee is like $5,000. So do you really want to spend 60 days and go through a bunch of price reductions to have a 10, 15, 20% shot of maybe making $5,000?
Nope.
Probably not, unless you're just getting started and like $5,000 is like, okay, cool. Now I can, buy another list. And
well,
hire
I
another
mean,
cold
listen, I
caller.
mean, that's a really great metric to look at because, you need to have longer inspection periods in these smaller markets because it's going to take longer to sell them.
Way
right?
longer. Yeah.
Even with InvestorLift?
Now, the move on how to do this with InvestorLift, and guys, I actually have a video where we did this with RJ Bates. And actually, RJ Bates was on our podcast, 11 out of 10 podcast.
Yep.
And he gave me some pushback. I'll always love it when people push back against my assumptions.
Yep.
And he said, Robert, why you keep on hating on real markets? I love real markets. I'm like, okay, explain that to me. Why do you love real markets? And he explained, because it's way easier to get deals,
Yep.
right? I can do those one call closes. I can turn and burn dozens of properties a month. It's very easy on the acquisition side. The cost of marketing is very low. I'm like, yeah, but then you get screwed over on Dispo. So his move is he tries to find the one perfect buyer
Yep.
in each of these real markets.
Yep.
Right. So a great example of this, if you guys watch Closers Olympics, there was like I call it the crazy sister deal. RJ Bates signed it up live. In the comments, everyone's like, "He signed this up too high. It's not a deal." Blah blah blah. Then Naaman Taylor jumps in the comment. He's like, "You guys clearly don't have InvestorLift, because on InvestorLift this thing's selling all day long. Easy 5, 10K rip."
Yep.
So just to prove a point, the next day, RJ and I we went
Live.
We went live.
Yeah.
And I said, "We're not
They're
giving
trying-
up."
I've got somebody down here that wants to sell his deal live right now.
I love it. We do that every Wednesday. Actually, Wednesday at 1:00 we sell deals live. So if you go today at 1:00, if you guys want to see deals being sold live, just go to the InvestorLift YouTube page, and in the video description, there's going to be on each video description there'll be a link where you could go and register. You can bring a deal, and every week we sell someone's deal
Awesome.
live. Yeah.
Awesome.
So yeah, RJ said, you find that perfect buyer. So we spent 3 hours building a buyers list. So we have a tool called God Mode, where if you don't have buyers, you can use God Mode to build your buyers.
Yep.
We found that perfect buyer in that market. We sold them the deal. We made 10 grand. We did it live. No cuts to the camera. 3-hour video. That's actually the most watched video on his entire channel in terms of total watch time in history. So that shows people really want to learn Dispo. But we sold it live to prove a point that you can actually sell in real markets. It just takes more time and effort.
Ralph's selling one right now.
Ralph's selling one right now. I love it. Now, the cool thing, though, is RJ sold that guy 5 more deals.
Yeah.
He sold him 5 more deals since then. So you can do real markets. Just understand you're going to have to do some skip trace, and you're going to have to find some buyers.
What is Dispo?
What is Dispo? Selling deals as fast as possible for the highest price with the least amount of work. That's the art of Dispo.
I love it. So said, and I know that you're just starting out in this, so I love it. Acquisitions is when you find the deal. Disposition is when you sell the deal. So I don't even know why those two things became like common
terms.
Yeah, common words that we use for this type of thing. Buying a deal and selling
deals.
it. Yeah.
Selling deals. Dispo, selling deals.
It's selling. It's selling your deal. It's finding a cash buyer that's going to replace you in that purchase agreement. So you put together a purchase agreement between you and a property owner, and then you put it out to investors that can purchase that cash. It's got to be a cash buyer typically, and they want to replace you, and they want to pay you a fee for finding that deal, which is awesome. It's been happening forever and ever and ever. Now, some states are requiring a license to do that. Like Spencer Caldwell, who was on the show earlier today, he's had a license since he started, and so have I. And I think that it's really smart to do that because it gives you access to the MLS to be able to pull comparables, so you know what to offer. You can certainly use free tools. You can certainly go into Zillow and do some comps. You can go into, PropWire and some of these other things. But it gives you really good resources for the pending deals. And we always look at the pending deals the most.
Yeah.
Yeah. We look at the properties that are under contract already with a buyer when they're being sold, because that'll show you where the market's at right now. So that's a big difference.
Very smart.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
So when it comes to putting out deals, is there better times a week? Is there better times a day?
Yeah, great question. So You can sell deals anytime of the week, but there are obviously better days and worse days. The best day is going to be Tuesday, specifically Tuesday at 2 p.m.
Yep.
It's like the optimum where you're going to get the highest response time. The worst would be the weekend.
Mhm.
Second worst would be Friday afternoon.
We never do it.
The difference between Friday afternoon and Tuesday is you're going to have about 30% decrease in the number of buyer leads you generate.
Right.
So if you got a hot deal, push it out early in the week. Monday, Tuesday. What I used to do is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I'd send out all my marketing.
Yep.
On the deals.
Yep.
And
Lock them up.
And then I would negotiate and then try to get everything that was on my backlog dispoed by Thursday, Friday.
Yep. Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. Yeah. We don't sell, we don't put out any deals typically on Fridays, Saturdays and Sundays. No way. I mean, we've tried. It's not like we're like, we just don't want to do it because we don't want to work. We don't care. My guys are working all the time. But it just doesn't, the response is abysmal.
Yeah. You lose a third right off the top. So it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. If you were to go into a market, what are kind of the top 5 markets that you like? If you lived in, let's say you lived in Spain, let's go to Portugal, beautiful Portugal.
Yeah.
You're right there. You're living on the beach. You're finding deals virtually.
Yeah.
Where would your 5 markets be that you picked if you were going virtual?
Great question. Actually, my last customer call was with a team from Israel. They're in Tel Aviv.
Yeah.
A gangster team. I think they're doing 40 to 50 deals a month, 100% virtually.
Mm-hmm.
And they're on the other side of the world. So guys, if you're in America, you have no excuse. These guys are in Israel doing 40, 50 deals a month. The guy asked me the same question. What are the best markets? Because he was in actually some very suboptimal markets where very low price point, low assignment fees. What I really like,
Pittsburgh.
he was in Ohio and Michigan.
Yeah.
So average assignment, and he was clocking like $11,000, $12,000 assignment fees on average.
Yeah.
They should be higher. He should be at 16 in those markets. But once he jumps on InvestorLift, he'll be at 16.
Yep.
So my favorite markets. So first of all, it's very asymmetric, right? In terms of the deal volume, and the number of markets you
what does asymmetric mean?
Meaning like most of the deals happen in a very, very small number of places.
Yeah.
Right.
Got it.
So 60% of deals happen in 5 states. Okay. So that's Florida, Texas, California, Washington, and Maryland. Although I think Maryland's is skewed up a little bit because I was operating there.
Florida, Texas, Washington.
Florida, Texas, California, Washington, and Maryland. Okay, so that's
not Arizona.
2/3 of all earnings. Arizona's not up there yet. It's pretty close. So I think it's number 6 or number 7.
That's awesome. Yeah.
So my favorite markets to target, if for the average team, this is for the average team. For the average team, I like just Washington, D.C., south all the way down to Florida.
Okay.
Maybe back out South Carolina, because South Carolina, you got to deal with all the new rules and regulations.
Yep.
But that whole strip down, tons of deal volume, really easy to sell deals. Yeah.
Is it because the properties are older?
Not necessarily older. There's
you know
a
what
lot
I mean?
of,
like Phoenix, Arizona wasn't a state till 1912. You know what I mean? All the houses built where you're talking about were built before 1912. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like these are older properties that need significant investment.
Yeah, I mean, Florida is a class because it's an older population. People move there to retire, so you get a lot of people that move there to retire,
inherited
properties. Yep. You get a lot of those, and then the other states, you got a lot of the hedge funds when they're buying, they just love like North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia. Like they love that whole belt.
Well, a lot of economy.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of big companies based out of there. They're very pro business. Most of those states. I mean, is it a red blue type of thing? On some, I mean, obviously not California.
But Texas is also good. So I like DC down south. And then if you're a little bit more advanced, I don't recommend doing Texas right away because Texas is a non-disclosure state.
Yep.
So it makes comping more difficult. So once you get a little bit,
non-disclosure means.
So in most states, you can see the price point on the tax records. You can see the price point that properties are being bought at and properties are being sold at. Okay. So that makes it very easy to comp.
Public records.
They
show you what's going on. It's beautiful.
It's absolutely beautiful. It makes comping really easy.
But not in Texas.
Not in Texas.
You're not finding out what I'm spending my money on, baby.
Yeah. So Texas, you can wait a little bit. Like I would start off with that belt, and then you can throw on Texas. And then as you get really good at sales, if you get really good at sales, you have really good follow-up sequences, and you have high return on ad spend, then you can start going into the really profitable markets. The really profitable markets, of course, it's going to be Washington State, California, Oregon even has some big rips.
Yeah.
Colorado.
Yeah.
Arizona's kind of right there in the middle. So you just move up to the higher price points and you get higher assignment fees. Like I've seen guys do $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 rips in San Francisco, but those are like, they get 1 or 2 a year.
Yeah.
That's it. So there's trade-offs. Now, if you're first getting started though, you might want to go a little bit more rural. So you might want to do like the Ohio's, Michigan, like up around there, the whole, what do they call it? The Rust Belt.
Yep. Sure.
There's tons of deal volume up there. And you can even like middle America, like Oklahoma, Alabama.
I like Kansas City.
Kansas.
I love Kansas City. Both Missouri and Kansas. I love them both. I think that there's some interesting markets in Alabama.
Yeah.
Huntsville is really interesting. Birmingham is hit or miss. Birmingham has some really, really low priced areas.
Hard to sell.
And really tough to sell.
Yeah.
Really tough to sell. I mean, they could literally deed you over the property.
Yeah.
And it'd be tough to sell those.
Yeah.
So really, I would encourage people, even if you're getting started, keep your price points when these properties are fixed up at least 150,000.
Yeah.
Right. Once they're done, don't stay under that. And it's kind of difficult to do that, but there are some areas and neighborhoods that are below that, but stay in the areas that are above 150, probably 200,000 as we start appreciating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cause I mean, it's the same amount of work, guys, to make a 5K assignment as it is to make a $50,000 assignment. It's the same steps. It's the same effort. In fact, the lower price point properties are typically the ones that are going to cause you the most headaches. When you got, on live Dispo, if I'm going on a live Dispo, which we run again every Wednesday, 1 p.m. Arizona time, you can go to the InvestorLift YouTube page. There's a link to register. Watch us sell deals live.
That's like in 50 minutes.
Yeah. Right after this, you guys
49 minutes. You can see
minutes.
deals. Who's selling the deals?
Steve Francis from
Awesome.
the HBS team.
Yep.
He won the Closers Olympics Dispo Day live last year. They did $126,000 in assignment fees earned in an hour and a half.
Yep.
It just shows you what is possible if you have your deals packaged up right and you have the right data and the right tools. So, yeah, it's
Love
just don't work hard, work smart.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line. What you got to do on Dispo.
I was pulling up this stat. 2019, the equity in housing was 19 trillion. Now it's 32.8.
Damn.
In 5 years. Real estate investing, guys. You're in the right industry.
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you like? What do you like investing in? We talk a lot about the balance sheets and looking at income statements and all of that. Classic rich dad, poor dad stuff. But on an asset side, what do you like? Are you just putting it all into business?
Right now, so when you're thinking about what to invest your money in, you got to think about your risk tolerance and your return on your return on investment. What can I put my money in that is going to give me the highest return,
right,
according to my risk threshold, right? Because in economics, we teach about risk-adjusted returns. This is why a rental in Baltimore will have a way higher cap rate.
Yep.
Right. Way higher yields.
Way higher
than a property in Scottsdale.
Oh yeah.
Right. Because it's more risk. You need a higher return. So I'm young, so I have a pretty heavy risk appetite. I could afford to go to zero and I could rebuild real quick.
Yep.
So, and also in my business, for every dollar I put in my business, 10x it.
Yeah.
So I'm rolling everything back into the business right now.
Awesome.
But eventually one day I'll sell the business. When I sell the business, then I'm throwing it all back into real estate because the tax advantages of real estate are incredible. Like you were on our show a couple of weeks ago.
Yep.
With Zach Keeps. Great show, by the way.
Zach came on this show right after
Yeah.
and showed everybody his $90 million worth of equity that he has in properties. You know what I mean?
I think it's over 100. I think we did.
120. He's got 120 million in real estate because he owns 300 houses at 400,000 and he owns 85% of it. I mean, his equity in it.
Yeah. Now, what I really learned about, what I really thought about is it really illustrates the point that you make your money when you buy right.
Every time.
So he bought right after the crash.
I know he did.
2010.
I know.
He's buying these $400,000 houses for $50,000, $60,000. He's just loading up on them.
Loaded. Well, he knew how to raise funds and he knew how to do property management. That's what I was talking about. If you put to the whiteboard, the three three parts of the real estate business: find deals, raise funds, and understand property management. You do that, you're going to have a huge amount of assets that are going to be long-term. And one, you get tax write-offs. Two, you get the debt pay down if you're getting debt on it. And three, you've got the appreciation that's just going to go bananas over time.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so we find deals like that. Right.
Yeah,
When I went to Dispo deal, because he's like, dude, send me the stuff. So I was like, Jeremy, will you send, who was just on the show? Jeremy, send it over to Zach. He's going to take a look at it. And he knows his price point. He knows exactly what he'll spend on any market that you send it to.
Yeah. And he gets the best deals because he's guaranteed money.
Guaranteed money.
If you need to sell a deal, you call him up and he'll tell you yes or no in about 15 minutes.
Yep.
And if he says yes, it means yes.
Yeah.
So
That's awesome.
people, when they want a guaranteed buyer, they're willing to take another $5,000 or $10,000 or $15,000 less to sell.
Speed and convenience. It's the same thing that the sellers do with us.
Yeah.
100%. We got some questions here.
Yeah.
Incredible Randy asks, how is Nevada on the list? Median is 460 in Las Vegas.
Yeah, Nevada. I mean, good city, right? You do have some big operators there, right? You have Ryan Pineda, so you're going to be competing against some big shops like that. But I mean, decent market. It's right there in the middle. It's not for beginners, but it's right there in the middle. If you're
another Rhino here out of Minnesota, what do you think of the Twin Cities?
I don't know. I haven't looked up Twin Cities specifically, but one of the cool things, guys, if you do jump on,
so Minneapolis and St. Paul, right? That's the Twin Cities. Is that right? Yeah. All right.
If you do have investor, if you know someone that has investor, if you just go into God mode and just look up the city on God mode, and you can see exactly how many deals are happening, what people are buying them at, what they're selling them at, how long they're holding them for. So inside of InvestorLift, you can just look it up, and then we got market trends, analytics, all that.
Awesome. So where do you see wholesaling going? I mean, you're building a whole business around putting the Zillow for off-market deals for investors. You call it trap houses and something else, but
trap houses and crack houses.
Yeah, I mean, but I mean, essentially, you see more regulations coming in.
Yeah.
You see some states not allowing assignments. Not a lot. I mean, but you never know how that gets squeezed state to state. But maybe all the states require licenses or something like that. How do you see that affecting Dispo and what you're building?
I had Jerry on the show.
Jerry Norton,
great, absolute legend in this space. Definitely check out his YouTube channel.
Yep.
You guys do wholesaling hotline. Right
yeah,
now.
wholesale hotline.
Yeah,
yep.
Absolute legend. And he knows someone that's on the National Association of Realtors that is pushing this, and their goal is not to make it illegal in a few states. Their goal is to make it illegal in all 50 states in the next 5 years. That's their goal.
Sure.
And they've already done it in South Carolina. They're pushing it in other states. So whenever the government comes in and tries to correct the market, right, they're coming in because they're like, hey, there's too many bad actors in the wholesaling market. We're just going to ban the whole thing. What they should do is just allow the market to correct it, right? Allow the market to police itself. Like at InvestorLift, we have a blacklist. I think we blacklisted like 170,000 bad actors, where if one person notices that this person, if you get multiple reports from multiple accounts saying, hey, this person is a bad actor, they're banned from all the systems.
What makes them a bad actor?
So for example, they circumvent you on a deal or say they're going to close. And
they see it on InvestorLift. They go to the property, they knock on the door, and they say, hey,
sign a contract with me instead.
Yeah.
Right.
I'll give you more.
Yeah. That's why we've engineered a bunch of features inside of InvestorLift. Like they have to sign a non-circumvent to be able to see the address. So that protects your deal a little bit more. You can never fully protect a deal, right? But it's way more protected if you throw it on Facebook or something. At least now you have a paper trail that, hey, this person said they were not going to do this, then they did it. And a lot of our wholesalers have used that successfully in court to win judgments against these bad actors. So like the market is already cleaning itself up. The bad companies are already dying out. I estimate about 60% of wholesalers went out of business last year.
I saw that on a reel or something that you had. Yeah.
Yeah. And if you talk to the other guys that run other software companies, they see it in their data too. So the market is already cleaning itself up. When the government comes in, they try to like fix things. It's like the scariest words in life are, hey, I'm from the government. I'm here to help.
Right.
Because whatever policies the government puts in place to achieve some outcome, usually those policies end up having the exact opposite impact. Right. So right now, these new policies are like, hey, these policies are in place to help homeowners, to help homeowners make more money. But what's going to happen is like, all the nationwide guys, we just all pulled out of South Carolina.
Yep.
So in South Carolina, for example, what's going to happen is there's going to be some guys that get capitalized, get licensed, and start double closing these deals.
Yep.
Okay. But there's going to be way less offers coming in.
Oh yeah.
To each homeowner. So the same way that we're trying to get as many offers when we're dispoing a deal, a seller also, if they have 10 different wholesalers making them an offer, they're going to be able to get the maximum amount for the deal. Now instead of getting 10 wholesalers offering them a deal, they're going to have one. So what's that going to do? It's going to put downward pressure on the prices that these homeowners are able to sell their deals at. And then if
it's wide open in those areas.
Yeah.
I mean, it is wide open. You raise funds. I have an incredible student out in South Carolina. He is making an absolute mint right now.
Yeah.
Closing deals. He just raised the funds, closed the deals, making a mint because everybody else wanted to run off.
Yeah. 95% of people are out of South Carolina now. So the big guys will get capital.
Yes.
They'll get capital, they'll get capitalized, and then they'll start doing more deals. And we're seeing this across the country. In addition, the big guys are getting better and better tech.
Yep.
Right? Like the biggest guys like you got the full highest level of InvestorLift, access to 5.5 million buyers. I've seen a lot of teams now doing some really cool stuff with AI. We got the most dialed in marketing campaigns, the most dialed in follow-up sequences, the best sales training in the world. So I think that wholesaling used to be the business where you could just walk in with a cell phone and a laptop and you can make $1 million your first year.
Yep.
I think that that's going away over the next 5 years.
Okay.
The barrier to entry, the gap between the beginner and the professional is going to get so wide that you'll still be able to do it, but it's going to be a lot harder.
Okay.
And you're going to have the big guys. We're already seeing this. The big guys doing much more volume. And, the future of wholesaling is not having 100,000 different tiny little wholesalers. The future of wholesaling is there's going to be, 50 massive wholesaling companies that are doing 100 million plus a year.
Yeah. And that's
where
what you feel InvestorLift is going to serve?
I want to serve everyone, but that's just whether you like it or not, that's where the industry is heading. The industry is headed towards more massive shops doing massive volume. So what you should be asking yourself is, how do I become one of those massive shops? Right? Any of you guys can do it. The guys that are running the massive shops right now, most of them have started in the last 5 years.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
So it doesn't take that long. What you really got to do is just focus on keeping your business super simple, removing all complexity. You got to look at your business like an assembly line. Focus on the two numbers that matter. The only two numbers that matter in wholesaling is number one, what is your return on ad spend for every dollar we plug into marketing? How many dollars do we get back? And number two is the cash conversion cycle. How long does it take when I plug $1 into marketing to get the return back on that? So really just stay focused on those two things. Stay focused on the fundamentals, talking to people. 90% of your success is going to come just from your ability to talk to people.
Yep.
And then build your competitive advantage by investing in technology and having the best tech stack.
Love it.
Yeah.
So in the future, how do you think people are going to break into the industry? Because I broke in by just, I lost everything in the crash and I came back and I was driving around. I saw ugly houses, got the phone number, called them up, see if they would consider an offer, sold it with a commission to start because I had a real estate license. But then I kept seeing that they were assigning the deal. So then I figured out what assignments were. And that was a huge aha moment. But if you don't have a license and you're starting out and it's a few years from now, where do you think that people are going to get their first start? Is it still finding deals and then working something out? What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's going to be the same thing where like the beginners are just going to target the more rural markets. They're just going to be pushed into the more rural markets, the smaller cities, the smaller towns. So you'll still be able to get started, but instead of making 25K reps, you're going to be doing 10K reps for a little bit until you get the capital to invest in the systems, the training, the technology to be able to then break into the bigger markets. But no beginner starts out in LA. Yeah. Or if they do, they're going to burn through all their capital real quick. You can't be paying $500,000 per lead and make it as a beginner. So guys will get crushed. Guys today don't try to go into those markets, or if they do, they just die really quick.
Yep.
So right now you can still get started in those mid-tier markets. It's still possible, but I think it's just going to get a little bit harder in those mid-tier, and the beginners are going to have to start off more in the secondary, tertiary markets.
You think that they're going to have to work with the bigger companies to find the deals and to work up like that in a more traditional, like apprenticeship type of style?
I think that's a smart thing to do. Like that's how I got started in this business. I was like, okay, I want to learn the business, but I don't have money to invest in hiring a coach or a mentor. So let me do this. Let me just start cold calling wholesalers and flippers and until I get a job. I got a job, and I told the guy coming in my interview, I said, I'm going to do 3 years with you. I looked at it as my master's degree in real estate. I'm going to do 3 years. I'm going to work my ass off for you. After 3 years, I'm going to quit.
Awesome.
And I'm going to do it on my own. I'm going to compete against you. He's like, you know what? Most people don't even last 1 year. So if you do 3 years, that'd be great. Let's do it.
Awesome.
So great strategy. Go work for a big shop, learn the ins and outs. It's too hard to figure this out all on your own. You gotta either have a mentor, be in a mastermind or something with some other people, or work for another big shop that has already figured it out. Easiest hack. Don't reinvent the wheel. Just figure out what works and run the same playbooks.
I love it. Guys, Robert Winsley, that is InvestorLift.com. InvestorLift.com. Absolutely awesome.
I'll do something we haven't done
Here
before.
Here we go.
Because I love
We're not done yet.
Legends. Okay, if you guys go to get.investorlift.com, okay.
What is it?
Get.investorlift.com, okay. If you go there and you're doing a deal a month, don't do this if you're not doing a deal a month, but if you're doing a deal a month, go to get.investorlift.com. You know how we were talking about earlier how most people have 5, 10, 20 buyers? You know, like that's like the average wholesaling shop. Imagine if you had 1,000, what that would do to your assignment fees. If you go there and you apply and you jump on a call with their team and you qualify and they say, hey, you know what, we're going to give you the opportunity to join InvestorLift. If you mention to them that you watch this show, we're going to load you up with 1,000 top buyers in whatever market you want. You just let them know, hey, you watch this show. Here's the market I want. And we're going to load you up with 1,000 top buyers. That could be worth millions. In the hands of someone that knows what to do with it, that can be worth millions.
I'm telling you guys, this is the greatest Dispo training we've ever done. This might be the greatest Dispo training that's ever been created on YouTube for sure. Plus, you get 1,000 cash buyers. Get InvestorLift.com. Absolutely incredible. Robert, you're the man.
Absolutely.
That's awesome.
Brent, thanks for having me on.
You look great. You smell great. Very demure. Very demure. There
Thanks so much, guys. We'll see you next time.
Bring it in, guys. Now stay in. We're going to close this thing out. Guys, that is it. That is it for our show. Thank you so much for participating with us. Make sure that you go through this over and over and over and over again. Look at what Spencer's model is. Look at what our model is. Look at what Robert is talking about and get those extra the cash buyers in your area. On behalf of Matt and Luke and Alejandra, we love you guys. We love you joining us every single Wednesday. Keep your house clean, protect your health, and increase your value to the world. You'll live a fantastic life. Love you guys. See you next week.